VCR Podcast with your host, Vish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Okay, it works now.
Are you sure?
So here's the problem. So when you change transitions, it changes my inputs. So I went to hit the microphones as soon as it transitioned, but it changed all the buttons. So I ended up turning off Chris's camera, and I ended up not putting my microphone on. So, mistakes aside, this is a VCR fucking podcast. The only podcast that Radical, again, can't get the intro right. So, other than that, it's the podcast that predates itself at the moment the title is spoken, but, you know, what else is new?
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus Christ. I keep saying, this is gonna be the one show I don't mess up, and I didn't mess up unless the computer now messes up. So now I can't even get the system to work with me.
In the computer's defense, you're the one that hit the button.
Well, in my defense, too, a computer should be faster than a human, so...
Also true.
Unlike my computer at work, which I swear to God sometimes, I can type in a whole label faster than it can even get it set up to print. Sometimes I'm just like, man, I think I'm just a robot.
There was times when
we've thought it too.
There was times when Chris and I worked at Best Buy that you could actually type in all the commands preemptive, and by the time it's all done, you just have to take in the transaction.
You would just be like, boop, boop, boop. Oh, there it goes.
Literally, it would be like, "Du-du-du-du-du-du-du," and then you're like, okay, credit card, please.
Well, speaking of transactions, why don't we buy into our intro?
Oh, wow. That was the best segue I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God. It's a good thing I have a shot glass with me just in case. I might need one after that.
Jeez, if there's a drink,
okay,
my bingo. I don't.
Jackasters?
Yes.
I don't have a bingo card. I just have a drinking game. Every time I try to attempt a segue and fail miserably at it, take a shot. You'll probably.
I love this.
You'll probably get at least 3 or 4. I mean, you can't do shots for the auction. No, you might as well just do a shot whenever I script the intro because you're guaranteed to do at least one shot per episode.
Or die.
Yeah.
No, it's just one shot. I can't screw up multiple intros in a show. That's just not possible.
That's true.
There is only one intro.
Maximum of one.
Here's the thing. You do it on purpose to see us die.
I wish that I did this on purpose for like 4 weeks in a row now. I wish.
Yeah.
That
also,
would be
if one
funny.
shot's going to kill us,
yeah, no kid.
we should already be.
I was gonna say, if one shot's killing you, what the hell's in the glass? Are you drinking Clorox, or are you just are you trying to treat COVID the way that America's trying to treat COVID right now?
Wait, are we
You're not
supposed to
drink
not
Lysol?
Yeah, you know. Look.
Bleach? All right.
Look.
Oh,
Look.
whoa.
I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but they're kind of lying to you.
Lying or just being a plain fucking idiot?
Why can't
No
it be
lying.
both?
Because lying.
Liars know
You
they're
have a
lying.
point.
Yeah, I know I have a point. So anyways, going back to video games, why don't we actually do the intro properly? Since that's always a challenge. So I'm going to start off quick because I haven't done very much because I'm still addicted to GTA. And I now have $5 million on my bank account, and I think I don't need to do grinding for a little while now.
No, you don't. You
I
need to
mean,
send me money
I could because maybe I want the Knight Rider car. I did get the motorcycle that has a jet engine on it, so I can fly on a motorcycle.
Kit.
Whoa.
I will
You
show.
can do one of those jump challenges.
I will show you, motherfuckers, this fucking thing when we get on tomorrow. So, because that's our game
Oh yeah,
night right now.
that would destroy the jump challenge.
Well,
yeah, that jump challenge.
That's what I told you guys. How do you think they cheat them? They use the cars that aren't allowed. But yeah, I think now that I'm two heavy weeks straight into grinding, I think I'm probably in a good spot where, unless there's a really easy thing, because the bonuses they do every week kind of what dictated it. It was a really easy start last week to do bonus content for more cash faster, because it was something that anybody can do as long as you had the the Criminal Enterprise pack, which gave you the free Office to begin with. So it was real easy. Took no effort. I could start right from there and go. Chris, it might be harder for you because you're just getting the default version, so you didn't get any free passes. But now with this week, it was the Motorcycle Club stuff, which was things like drug stuff. So I had 3 things running. I had a cocaine factory, a meth lab, and some counterfeit cash operations. And every 4 to 6 hours, you can sell everything, and it was doubled up. So I was making every 4 to 6 hours like 1.5 to 2 million bucks as long as I didn't fail.
That's pretty awesome.
So I ended up buying that arcade. I finally got the rebate, thank God. I haven't said this on the stream, but like Rockstar support was really stupid for the first couple mails of me trying to get this rebate. So if you subscribe to Twitch Prime, or if you have Twitch Prime, I should say, you can get a bonus with GT Online that gets you a bunch of shit, one of them being a free arcade. Now they've also added a free nightclub, which I also have picked up and didn't have to pay for this time, which was nice. But since the cutoff for the arcade already happened, all you had to do was buy it and they would refund you within 72 hours. And if they didn't, you just let Rockstar know and they'd fix it. Well, I told them specifically in the message, okay, guys, I got Twitch Prime, I bought the thing, and it's been over 72 hours, to which you guys told me I should go put in a ticket. So here's the ticket, this is my account, this is the email attached to it, this is everything you need to know. Done, just get me my rebate. And the first message I got says, oh, we see you have Twitch Prime, so you need to go and get this thing, make sure it's connected, buy the thing, and then come back in 72 hours. I'm like, dumbass. I literally said in the mail, I have everything. I've done it all. It's been over 3 days. Money, please. Second person, completely different person comes in, does the exact same fucking thing. So I finally just said, please read this. Please read this. I bought it. It's been 3 days plus what you did. Give me my fucking money. And I didn't sugarcoat. I said, give me my fucking money. And I got my money.
Money.
So apparently somebody read it and I'm like, oh, okay, I think we can stop pissing them off.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I still enjoy, just because it's been I've had a lot of podcasts to catch up on, so it's been nice for that aspect as well. But I think I'm now at a point that unless some really easy grind is up this week and I'll know tomorrow, I think I'm finally going to be back into CrossCode. Obviously, we're going to have...
cash do you have currently?
I literally said at the beginning, 5 million.
Nice.
But yeah, CrossCode will be back now that I have some free time, hopefully. And then things like the Fall Guys, which will be free on PlayStation Plus on the 4th. I'll have that to look at. So there'll definitely be some... Ideally, there will be something different next podcast for me to talk about that isn't a game that is like 7 years old and most people haven't really cared about in a while. So, but it's just been nice to have that little bit of kind of nostalgia going back into all the online and doing all the stuff again. And actually, like, I think my level almost may be the same after 2 weeks that it was playing the original on 360 because the grinding options just weren't there before. So I think I'm almost...
You did play a lot of it on the 360 at the time, right?
Oh, I played so much longer. But like I said, the grinding was not the same. They didn't have all the stuff. And I didn't get big into the business stuff that they put in later on. By the time that they really started rolling it all in, I kind of started to phase out. And I think that's probably when Destiny kicked in too. So that probably changed everything.
Yeah.
I'm level 72, I think, now in the game. And I'm pretty...
Is there a max level?
No, it just keeps... Well, maybe there is, but I mean, I've seen people at 500, so I don't know. But like, I'm pretty sure that when I quit the game on 360 back in the day, I was maybe in the 80s, I think.
Wow.
So
that's a fast catch up this time.
Well, I also wasn't doing all the bonuses, so I wasn't getting RP or the experience points for those who don't know GT Online. I wasn't getting like double, triple XP all the time. So I think that probably is a big part of it, but either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's literally all I've been doing apart from just kind of catching up on podcasting and watching YouTube. So, and that's not really anything of note. I mean, other than that, I've just been keeping up with the news, which we'll get into later. So I'll move on to probably the next person that has the latest load here. That'll be Vish.
Latest load.
To be entirely honest, I just the way this week has been, it's been a pretty chaotic week. I haven't been able to even do anything for myself, whether it's gaming, whether it's anything, whether it's like just any entertainment. I just haven't had a chance to. The only thing is today I just happened to when I was driving today, the Uncharted theme was playing, and it just made me think. So I checked with Google. When did Uncharted 3 come out? 2011. Like, we're reaching almost a decade since like the Uncharted OG trilogy.
Well, I mean, it's PS3, so that's not that surprising now. We're almost at the tail end of the PS4 generation, so the PS3 or any PS3 game for that matter, being like 10 years old is not that far out of reach now.
I mean, it's still like pretty crazy when you think about it. It's like,
Nah, I'm not even there yet. I'm still trying to remind myself that Final Fantasy X is almost 20. So,
fuck. Yeah,
next year, it'll be 20.
It came out in 2020. Oh fuck, yeah, it did.
2001.
You know what's crazy?
Came out the year that we graduated high school.
What's crazy to me about what you guys just said is that there's only about 10 years difference from Final Fantasy X to Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it really makes you understand how long time actually is when you really think about it.
Time is relative.
Time seems short, and yet it's long at the same time. It's just one of those things.
Well, there's like Super Mario Brothers isn't far from 40.
Yeah,
and Pong is over 35 years old.
Yeah, the original Super Mario is old enough to like almost be a grandparent soon. Just depending on how. Actually, it could be technically if you're having it real young.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Chris and I know somebody who became a grandparent at age 32, I believe.
Oh yeah, we do. That is weird.
Well, that's a whole different conversation I don't want to get into. So, stepping away from potential like 16-year-olds getting banged up.
Yeah, I really, unfortunately, I don't have a lot to bring up this week.
Good, so we can get away from you quick. All right,
nice
Chris, go,
shoot.
shoot.
Okay, so I played 3 different games, pretty much as per usual.
So basically, you did 3 times what both me and Vish did combined. Good for you.
So I'm keeping us going. I'm taking what you guys would have played and me.
I still probably put more hours into gaming than you did, but you know.
You absolutely did. And the reason being is because I've got the Xbox app on my phone and obviously the Steam app. Both of them are smart enough to know that when you're playing Grand Theft Auto, because the Xbox app is just, you're using Windows 10, it knows. And of course, the Steam app, because you're launching it through Steam for the controller support.
Yep. Which is so weird to me. It's so weird to me that in order to use a PS4 controller on GTA on Epic, I have to go through Steam. It's just so silly.
It's because the Sony never came out with their own drivers for the PS4 controller on Windows. Microsoft, I guess because of Xbox, didn't make the PlayStation controller natively supported on Windows. Nope. And Steam is the only one that's like, you want that? Here's a Steam controller. You want to use your Nintendo Pro controller? Here's some fucking drivers. They just threw drivers into their system like nobody's business.
Good guy Steam over here.
Yeah, good guy Steam. But yeah, so I've been playing 3 games, so I picked up the slack. The first game I played through and beat, very short game, but is one that I've always loved very much. It's the game Journey that was on PS3.
Yeah.
The one that by that game company.
The only game in history, as far as I remember, that has ever been nominated for a Grammy.
It was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah,
I did not
Journey
remember
got
that,
nominated
but I did
for
know
a
that
Grammy.
back then. Yes. Well, it deserves it because that is the most heartwarming, feel-good game I think I've ever played. So much so that when I was done playing the game, I did the same thing where I don't. Did either of you actually play through the game before or no?
No,
never.
Okay, so
it only takes like 2 hours, right?
It takes about 2.5 hours. You can do it in one sitting. It's very artsy. You're a character. There's no attacking or anything. You pick up collectibles, and as you do, your scarf grows bigger, which allows you to kind of jump/fly in the air longer. And you have to basically use your voice, I guess it would be considered. When you press the B button, you make a sound. If you hold the B button, you make a bigger sound. And you have to find ribbons, and when you use the sound against them, the ribbons will do something like they'll turn out to be a giant ribbon whale in the sky, or they'll like build a ribbon bridge, or all these like cool, crazy things. But the cool thing about the game is that as you're playing and going through, you will randomly see other characters. And there are only other players playing the game at the same time as you, and you get kind of thrown into the same server. The crazy thing is there's no way to communicate. There's no voice chat. You don't know the character's name. You know nothing about this person. The only thing you can do is press that B button. On the Xbox controller, on PlayStation would have been the circle button. But you can press it and you make that sound. And all you can do is make that sound at each other. And hopefully the two of you just are able to work together and get through it. The music is great. The way it looks is great.
I remember you saying that like your character, like the side character that people are playing with, can disappear out of nowhere.
If you get too far ahead or too far behind, it will separate you. Because the server reset is every so often in each level. Like if you go down a very long hill, they've kind of disguised that as a server cutoff. So if you're too far away from each other, they assume you're not playing together and you lose that person and can never get them back. And it's fucking heartbreaking when it happens because you've been playing for 45 minutes, communicating with this person like they're the first person you've ever seen in the world. And then you go down a giant hill and this like monster-like thing that, I don't know, it's just made of energy, comes down and it'll hit one of you and take you back up the hill. And because of that, one of you went down to the hill, the other one got pushed back up, and now you're separated and you're in different servers and you'll never see them again.
Yeah, it's like a real sense of loss.
Yeah, like it actually feels like loss. And I remember when I actually found the article that I read back in like 2008 or 2009 when I played this game for the first time. The developers had a thing where they tested it with all of the people who'd worked on the game, and they all played the finished product. And they said it wasn't a very big team. It was like 15 or 20 people. Of those 15 or 20, when they finished it and they all finished it at the same time, 6 of them started crying. And that's how they knew they'd made a great game. Yeah.
Actually,
and it's not. Sorry, yeah.
When they were making Speed, the movie,
what?
They said they knew that. No, they knew they had a blockbuster on their hands.
I just heard crying, and you're like, "This reminds me of Speed."
No, because like there's like this the subtle sign that like, okay, we got something amazing here. So when they were making Speed, when people were offset, like when extras and actors were not offset, they were walking backwards. So to catch what was going on, and they're like, okay, we got something special here. So this is like the whole thing is like with Journey. It's like, hey, people are getting emotional and attached to this. Like we got something amazing going on here. Yeah. It's like if you're getting like with I don't know how accurate it was. Like there's with Game of Thrones, like the finale episode. Apparently at the table read, people were bawling their eyes out. But then what I hear is that the final season was absolutely abysmal.
I was about to say
because like the whole because it was over.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Because I mean, the people who have probably played like Metal Gear Survive probably like cried when they finished because like it's finally over.
Yeah. No, this is just very emotional, just because of the way it's designed. Like you're going through these very beautiful. The music is insane. Probably the Grammy thing. And you're going through, and when you finally find somebody, it's rare. It only happens every so often. Like when I played through the whole game, I apparently saw 4 people, but 3 of them must have been, I saw one person just off screen and I couldn't catch up to them. And then the other 2 must have been in the same area as me and we just never saw each other. I ended up halfway into the game meeting somebody and played through for the rest of the game, and we walked through the final scene together. And it's very emotional because of the music and what you see happens to your character. Because it's one of those games also where you don't know the story. It gives you like little bits and you piece it together. And at the end, you see what happens. And then all of a sudden it makes the rest of the game just make sense. That happens. And this is why right here, the reason this game is the most like feel good game of all time. Afterwards, it shows you on the screen, thanks for playing. Here is the people you played with. And it says their Steam usernames. So on PlayStation, I remember this, it was just your PS3 like gamer tag kind of thing. I was like, I have to thank, like, I want to reach out to this person, like, thank you. I go to the Steam forum for the game. There is a thank you thread with over 800 people that have posted. And the entire point of this thread is just to mention who you went through it and to say thank you for going through the emotional journey together.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'd thought of that went, and already 800 something other people had already thought of that, I was like, holy shit. And it's just like, to this person, just thank you for going through this with me. And that was it. So I had to post. I had to.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're asking a question. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just like it was really something very emotionally special about this game that like wasn't there before, and it was like it was more of a bond and attachment rather than the experience, rather than the game itself. It feels.
Yeah, the game itself has like the art style. It's set in a very like desert, like everything's been destroyed and you're the only person kind of left kind of thing. So when you finally see somebody, it's like, oh my god, this is crazy. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. The only other character in the game is the horse.
Oh,
So you get so attached to the horse.
Yeah, it's just that feeling of loneliness.
Yeah, and they hit it so well. It's insane.
yeah. When aggro die, like when it like, the game is 15 years old.
It's not a
When it
spoiler
looked
alert
like-
anymore.
Yeah, when it
Eris
looked like Aggro
dies.
died, was absolutely
The princess is in another
devastating.
castle.
That's not devastating. That's just more like, oh, for fuck's sakes, what castle is she in?
Yeah.
But it's like when aggro died, it was just like, huh. But then he comes back limping. It's like, I don't know what was worse,
Yeah.
him dying or coming back limping. Like, what was worse?
Him
Yeah.
dying, let's be honest.
I don't know. Him coming back limping was actually a really soul crushing as well. It's like poor aggro, and then
Well, I'll ask you the simple question. Would you rather see a pet you love die or just be injured?
That's a good point. Both suck,
Like,
but one's definitely
Both
better
suck,
than the
but
other.
one's final.
Yeah.
it's but nothing was more soul crushing than the ending of Spider-Man. That was.
I don't know what that has to
first,
do with the pets. So unless
I feel like-
unless that's what you're
Oh,
calling
the game.
unless that's what you're calling the females there, Vish.
Yeah.
No. No, but I mean, when it comes to emotional moments in games, there's
Yeah.
some that's for me, number one right now is still the ending of Spider-Man on PS4.
I
Yeah.
think anybody watching a gaming podcast knows where it is. But
Yeah, so that's the first game I played. Second game I played was an old one, and I'd never played it before, but a friend of mine, Mike, not my brother-in-law, Mike, a friend of mine, Mike, is super into Dungeons and Dragons, the original, but also some games from the 90s. And there's a very famous one called Baldur's Gate. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that.
Mike.
Pardon?
Mike.
Yes, Mike.
yes, personal stuff aside, nobody knows who the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, sorry?
So then it's Baldur's Gate. So there's a third one coming out this year, and it's a very, very big deal because they haven't been out since 1998 or 2000 or something.
Ooh.
It's a top-down, very PC-style game, but you actually play it like it's strict Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you're this character, you make your character from the start, who they are, what they are. You go through a story. There's 50 different people you can recruit, and it's up to you if you want them to join you. Some are good, some are evil. It's like a typical RPG, and it'll make sense probably for you, Adam, when I say this. It was made by BioWare. So this is BioWare in the 90s, way before they made a lot of the crazy, amazing stuff.
Yeah, and then way before EA fucked them, and then Mass Effect Andromeda happened.
Yes, this is way before Mass Effect and especially EA and all that. Yeah, this is them making a PC game where you click on your character and the other ones and you decide everything you want to do. If you go up to a boss, you can give them gold and bribe them and not have to deal with them. You can sneak up to them. You can just go out and full on battle. It's a crazy thing where there's dice rolls and stats. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game. But I have it on PC and I hadn't played it for a long time. They recently released the first two games on console and they changed the UI so it works with controller. So imagine an old PC top-down point-and-click game, and they've made it work with controller, and they did it fantastic. I played it on the Switch, and I ended up where when you're using the controller, instead of having to click and move each character, because you have 6 on your team, you can press a button, and they all link up and make a diamond shape, so when you move your character, all 6 move together as a diamond. When you click to attack, you're selecting all 6 at once, and they just go and attack. It actually was easier playing it on the Switch than playing it on my PC, which was insane. It was really cool. They added a story mode because the game is notoriously hard. It's meant to be hard, where you go and grind out levels and level your character up from level 1 to level 6 and all that, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I did easy, and then I knocked it down to story mode, because even easy, you die like every boss and have to level up. Story mode, like your characters have constant regen on, so they're always getting their health back. I beat it in like
level up before you go to a boss battle.
Yeah, so you can go out and just fight enemies and there's hundreds of side quests where you go and do all this different stuff, find items, bring it back, kill a monster, come bring it back, that kind of stuff. It's like if Dungeons and Dragons and Mass Effect and all the RPG elements of that had a baby, and then it looked like a 90s PC game that was top-down point and click. Like, that's the best way to describe this, because that's exactly what it was. But the thing is that I have a lot more time to play in this. I beat the first main game. They made an expansion in 2016 from this game from 1998 that's included in this, that adds another 15 hours. And it comes with Baldur's Gate 2, which takes place like 3 weeks after the first game. And that has another expansion. So even playing in story mode where you can't die, it'll take me 60 hours total to go through the entire story if I want to be ready for Baldur's Gate 3 this year, which is being done by the Divinity Original Sin people, where it's the same idea, only this game is, 1998 graphics compared to the one from now. So that was a lot of fun. That was my Switch game that I played on the side when I needed to stop crying from Journey. Yeah, not much else to say about that.
So then that leaves one more, I think.
Yeah, and then the last one was a game that I saw. I think I saw somebody stream it on Twitch or something. I was like, I've owned that, and I've had it since like I first built my PC in 2013. I need to just play it and get it over with. And that's Limbo. I don't know if anybody's heard of that.
Yes, I have. Indie game. That creepy fucking game.
I've heard of it.
Very creepy. Very creepy. You're a kid. It's all black and white and gray color scheme. Okay. So you're like a silhouette. You're a kid. I think the story is you've gone to hell and you have to get through it and get out. And there's no attack or anything. It's like a puzzle platformer, but you die a lot. And when you die, it's creepy because there is a giant spider that sticks its fucking talon leg through you and then like pulls you up and then like rips you in half. And like you just feel like the pain every time you actually die. That game I'm not finished. There's 40 levels or chapters. And I'm on like 33 or something. I was trying to finish it today, but I didn't have time before the podcast. Very creepy. Adam, you summed it up right there.
Are you at the point that you're almost done the game?
Yeah, there's like 7 chapters left. If I were to look at a guide on how to do the puzzles, I could probably do it in an hour.
Yeah, because there was another one they did not long after that. I'm trying to think what the name of that one was.
Yeah. Is it like Inside or...
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I don't own that one. I don't think.
I don't know. Well, I don't even know if that one is available on PC yet, because I'm pretty sure that was a PlayStation exclusive for a little bit. I might be wrong, but
yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a really good game. Obviously, it's from like 2013. It feels like it does feel like an indie game from around that time, but it's good. But I couldn't do it in one sitting. Some of the dying was just like, oh, this is too much. Like I keep dying. And it's like a very creepy aesthetic where it's like, all right, like I'm getting fucking anxiety from this spider being somewhere on this screen. What the fuck do I do? Because I'm gonna die. Oh yeah, a good game though. It's definitely a good game especially for what it is.
Yeah, they got a lot of attention when that first came out because again of its creepy nature, and it was a nice short indie game as well, so it didn't require that much. So it ended up working out nicely that way.
Yeah, so that was just a quick game. I hope to have it done before the end of July so that I can increase my total to 14 games beaten this month.
Along with my total of 0, I think, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah, when did you beat Outer Wilds or Outer Worlds?
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. So I beat 1 game this month.
1, yeah. Vishal, you have beaten 0.
He has probably played like 1, and that's like a half played.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, Vishal, I did play Brick Breaker a bit more, and I got to level 35, and that's my cutoff point. I'm done. That game can suck my ass.
It is fucking rage-inducing.
Holy shit! Level 35.
I keep telling you though. Go take if you. I don't know if it's available on your device. I think it should be, but check out Twin Breakers.
Twin Breakers, same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Level 34 to level 35. I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck me, right? No, I'm done. Screw you, game. I
was so close to throwing my fucking PS4 controller through the TV at certain points. It was that rage-inducing.
Playing Brick Breaker, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, Brick Breaker.
Forget Call of Duty, forget Fortnite. Brick Breaker is the rage quit. Dark Souls, take a back seat. There's a new champ.
Yeah, this is Dark Souls with a fucking brick.
Puzzle games can be very rage-inducing.
Oh, you have not played a Dark Souls game, then, my friend.
Yeah, no, you would not like Dark Souls.
Because Dark Souls is frustrating, but it's because you suck at the game, not because it's hard.
Yeah. I was playing it on Switch too, so if I threw my controller, I would have just tossed my fucking.
Yeah, there goes your console.
The room. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so, no, Brick Breaker. The reactions are just the rebounds. Everything are just very unpredictable. That you
and the level design is designed to kill you.
Yeah,
sometimes. Fuck it.
Internally and physically.
All right, so we've probably spent about 2 minutes talking about Brick Breaker. I'm going to cut that out right now.
Yeah. I just had to say that I got mad.
Fuck Brick Breaker.
But speaking of things that are done, here let's talk about something that isn't done. So let's move on to all our quickies, all our short news stories.
Adam, if we're doing this drinking game every time. Now that that's done, let's talk about something that's not done. This is a shot. I'm doing it.
Perfect. I'm doing my job. All right, everybody.
This is my new bingo card.
Everybody watching the stream, watching the VOD, listen to this on any audio platform, take a shot. Come on, let's go. Pause. If you got to pause it, do it. I don't care.
Yeah, this is a new thing. I'm on one board. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I should not have done my whiskey.
All right, so like I said,
good God.
Speaking of things that aren't done, let's talk about some small stuff. So Spider-Man, let's kick it off with that. Obviously, we know that Spider-Man Miles Morales is a thing. It's going to be on PS5. Looks to be a launch title. There's been a couple of mysteries on what it is. It's to me, it sounds like it's going to be something akin to what Uncharted Lost Legacy is. It seems to be about what it is. But the interesting thing came in a Game Informer issue, which appears to show, and this may have just been misinformation. I don't even know if there's been confirmation otherwise. So for all I know, it's still very much a legit idea. That upon getting Miles Morales on PS5, you will also be getting, coupled with it, a remastered edition. Well, I guess not really remastered, but it's slightly tweaked for PS5 version of the original Spider-Man for absolutely free.
Which is amazing if they do.
Will it be the full version with a Silver Sable and Black Cat?
I would imagine it's Game of the Year edition. It would kind of make no sense to not do that.
Yeah, because you probably wouldn't be able to buy the DLC separate if it's the.
I mean, not to mention the Game of the Year edition is already only $30, I think. So.
Yeah.
Now the question would be, if this is true, does that mean the price of Miles Morales goes up? Does that mean it becomes a full price game, even though it might be shorter than what a normal full price game is? That's the question that comes into mind. Maybe, I'm not opposed to it either way, because I mean, I'd still go back and just play the original game too, and just catch up on the story all over again. I wouldn't care. It's that good a game that I think it's worth going back, especially if it's now 60 frames and a little bit sharper. Why the hell not?
And if it's got the additional content,
that as well, because I didn't play any of the DLC, so that would work out nicely at the same time.
This is a good point, because I just played it in May or June, I think it was, through PS Now, and even if I picked this up right at PS5 launch, I would play through the original game instantly again. Yeah. That's how much I actually really enjoyed that. That's a very good point, Adam.
I may skip some of the side missions, but
you don't want to do the pigeon mission again that you complain about every time we talk about this game?
Believe it or not, no, I don't want to do it at all.
Oh, what a shocking development! It's not as worthy of a shot as me making a bad segue, but it's getting close. It's pretty rare to hear you say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, again, this is just hearsay. We don't know the details yet. That's something that'll come down the line. Keeping in time though with Spider-Man, we do have a little bit more Avengers stuff that came out. So earlier today, we did have the beta reveal that they came out with. Well, not the beta reveal. We already knew about the beta. They just showed a little bit more about what it is. Looks to be they're giving you the entire intro mission that we saw in the first bit, where they're on the Golden Gate Bridge, plus a few missions that range from basically they call it a harm room, or like I don't know I can't remember what the X-Men's like training room is called. I'm blanking
Danger
right
room.
now. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's basically going to be almost like a horde mode that just keeps ramping up the difficulty. They also do have what are called war zones and drop zones, which are co-opable missions. But what'll have to happen is you will have to play through the single-player campaign stuff first before they unlock the multiplayer, and you can go ham on that. But they showed a couple of things aside from that. They showed that Iron Man's ultimate attack is the Hulkbuster. I think that's what it's called. The big armor.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which was pretty badass to see that stomping around and destroying things.
And they showed you reasons why you should be playing as every character, not just soloing one, because even if you play solo, if your AI companions will always join you always have a team of 4 when you do the team missions. So whatever your characters are built as, they come into the game as that. So if you got the Hulk in a friggin' 3-piece suit, that's what he shows up in your party, like all that kind of. So it gives you an incentive there. And then the big thing they obviously showed is their final character to round out the cast of 6, and that is Hawkeye, which didn't surprise most people. So that rounds us out to Kamala Khan, Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Black Widow, and... Oh, sorry, no, Cap isn't in that yet. It's Thor. So wait, hang on. Is it Hawkeye gets
remember
the
Cap,
6th? Oh, Cap, yeah, Cap's on the outside, I think. I don't know. It's still weird. Cap seems to
the
be very
intro,
ambiguous.
Yeah, he's there. It's supposed to be that he's dead, remember? Because in the intro mission that they showed, he dies in the helicopter.
So he'll be back later.
Yeah, he's going to be in the game.
There's no way you make an Avengers game without Cap. Okay, so it's Hawkeye is the 6th, along with Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Kamala Khan, and, oh my god, Black Widow.
Am I going crazy? Or
I think Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not calling her that intent. I think that's to be fair, I think that's intentional because they're trying to again call the diversity part of it, which I don't have an issue with here. Yeah. It still is strange to me. I'm not gonna lie, it's still very strange being so into the MCU that we know what the Avengers are, and we see all of them that we're used to seeing, but now we see this girl that looks like a high schooler. It's very weird. Because like she's not even really in costume for a lot of it. Like a lot of it's very still like she's like what Spider-Man was the first time he like makes his own costume. It's what it feels like. So I get it. It's gonna take a while to get used to. I'm hoping that the beta I will spend enough time in there to adjust to that.
There's a Spider-Man cartoon that started in 2017. It's still going on right now, kind of. And when they feature the Avengers, she's the one that's featured the most,
which is not surprising.
So it seems like
they're definitely trying to make that push to get women and more minorities involved. Which by the way, you should, because wouldn't it be nice if everyone plays the game so that way there's a bigger market and more stuff comes our way?
Yeah, of course.
I know, what a shocking idea. But
trust me.
What they showed off.
I don't want to get started.
I don't. We're not, because we're talking about more fun stuff like Avengers.
Yeah.
I know. The beta itself, like, I'm still not stoked. I'm not sure yet. The beta is going to be what really confirms that, because every time I watch gameplay of this, I keep thinking, okay, that looks cool, but will it be fun to play over and over again? Because that's what these games are. You will. It's not like you're going to play the story mission once and that's it. Like, if you're playing this game and you're actually playing this game, I'm not talking like, you're just going to casually. I'm talking, if this is your game, you are going to be playing missions again and again and again, because that's the grind. That's how these games run. So,
is it going to be the Marvel Ultimate Alliance formula?
No, it's not going to be top down.
Characters, but you can.
No, you are going to be soloing one character.
I mean, like. Oh, okay. So...
If you start a mission and you've decided you're going to play as Iron Man, I think you are Iron Man for the whole of that mission. You may have AI companions with you, but you aren't switching between, because this is a game that's meant to be multiplayer. So you aren't going to be switching between, even if you're doing it solo, because the idea is that you're supposed to get used to being able to work with other players. Because if you just take control of whatever you want, then it kind of takes away you having to learn certain ways to play against certain enemies, because that's the whole thing too. Now, they haven't shown us everything yet. They still haven't showed certain modes. I want to know what a raid's going to be like, because this game has to have some version of a raid. Now, they have said something called a boss room. They didn't go into details about that. I get the feeling that's probably what we're looking at. I mean, obviously, MODOK being the main antagonist of this, that would be the end goal. My hope is that the story itself is not the last mission as you beat MODOK. My hope is that when you finish the story, the raid is the end and MODOK is the end. And that ideally, say 12 months down the road, when the next expansion comes in, whatever that may be, that they bring in, let's just say for hypothetical purposes, Doctor Doom. It probably wouldn't be that. It'd be something smaller maybe, but let's just say it's Doctor Doom. The idea would be that, okay, here's another set of missions, another set of harm rooms, another set of new enemies, which, by the way, they said the game comes with 50 different enemy types, which is quite a lot, actually.
That's a lot.
That is awesome.
Because Destiny, for example, I think each race that they have has like maybe 3 to 4 different enemy types. They may have different versions of it. So my wonder is it actually 50 different enemies, or is it 10 different enemies of 5 different versions? That's the only thing we don't know yet. But
yeah,
it could be. It could be like a Dead Rising game where it's like the zombies, but there's like so many different visual styles of the zombies.
No, I'm not talking visual. I mean, it would be gimmick based. It would be like, okay, here's a soldier, but he has a shotgun, or here's a soldier, but he has a machine gun, or here's a soldier, but he has a grenade launcher. That's what I'm kind of thinking here.
Yeah, I think that's what it'd be too.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the beta, it didn't change me in either direction. I'm more like, okay, I need to play this beta to actually see. I believe I'd be playing this on PS4, and I think the open beta for us is the 14th, because I think there's a week before it, or at least sometime before it. It's just pre-orders. I can't remember the dates.
PS4 first.
Because it's PS4 pre-orders, then it's Xbox and PC pre-orders and PS4 open, and then it's everything else open.
Yeah. I think it was August 7th for PS4.
And I think it's a weekly thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be what I figure. So a couple of weeks, I'll be able to get my hands on the beta and probably get a sense of what I actually feel on it, because, like I said, I really want this to be like an amazing game, because I would love this to be a game that we can come back to over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
The problem I have is, as a guy who has played games like Destiny, who has seen the pitfalls of games like Anthem and The Division and Division 2, is that this game may be fun to start, but can it stay that way? And that's always the challenge with these. The only way that these games can have the shelf life is obviously twofold. You either have a lot of people to play with, or it's that good. And Destiny for a while was that, and then it became, okay, now I need friends that are always playing, and it just got to the point where it's like, okay, I can't. The hope here is that, at the very least, this thing has like a 6-month lifespan before they can start putting in new content. Because again, when a game is a live service, I don't like it when you bring me new shit within the 6 months. And I'm not talking like little, very tiny things. I'm talking like expansions. I'm talking big shit. Because that's a sign that you knew that your game wasn't ready.
Are you looking at this game that like it's better to have more DLC and additional story modes as opposed to making a direct sequel?
It depends on what the charge. It depends on how much they're charging for expansions, and it depends on how much they can fit. Because Destiny should never have become Destiny 2, but I think they ran out of space and didn't want to delete everything, so they just restarted. Which I think that's probably where my love of Destiny started to fade, because I put so much time in that first game, and for it to all be gone. Because that doesn't happen in Warcraft. You keep all the stuff. They may delete parts of the game, they may delete content out, but your character's always there. So I got really annoyed when all my guns were gone, all my armors were gone, all my shaders were gone, everything was gone, and I had to start fresh again. And I thought, okay, well, maybe the game will be, like, there's going to be so much more fun going on. And then I booted up Destiny 2 and went, no, this is literally like playing Destiny 1 all over again. There's not that much. So that's what I said to you guys originally with Avengers. Same goes for Outriders, by the way, which is something we're also looking into. Be very careful with these games, because these games may look fun, but they may have a very slow start, because there may not be enough to support it long term. It may take at least another expansion or two to find their feet. That's usually how it works.
It seems like for the Avengers game, they're doing it where there's a main story and then as soon as the main story's done, or maybe on the side, they're throwing in another DLC character that has their own story missions, and you'll play through to unlock that character.
The hope is that they give you enough. Like once you finish the story, maybe there's things like raids, or there'll probably be like weekly events they'll throw in that, because Destiny will do that, where they'll just have like, okay, here's all the bonuses this week, here's this specific thing that's going on, this certain game type gets you more stuff, you can get better items this way. Like there's stuff like that, because again, a lot of these games thrive on you wanting to complete your collections. So there's things like all the armor sets, all the costumes, weaponry. In the case of Avengers, there's like comic books that you can collect in that game. So there's the idea is they want to keep you collecting. There may not be necessarily the content in terms of gameplay that might last you 6 months unless you are a completionist. Yeah. So for Vish, for example, who tends not to be that kind of person that completes everything, you may find yourself getting a little bit like faded out of this game faster than, say, somebody like me and Chris would, for example.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, the game itself, I'm still curious. I really need this beta to get a good sense of if the game is going to be fun to play.
One game that is reminding me of this, that I felt like if it came out now, I think we may have had a lot more fun with it, was the DC Universe Online.
Probably not, just because for me personally, and I'm not trying to trash the game. I'm just, MMORPGs have a weird thing with me.
I know. Because there was a time that the concept of it, I thought was like, oh, this is cool, but it's like, I'm just not going to. But it feels like we were all playing together. I think it would have been a different situation, a different.
Well, it's the other thing too, right? If you have people to play with, that's the other thing too with MMO. Sometimes is that it's really hard to find a tight knit group, because not to mention most tight knit groups of MMORPG players, they're always on. So if you aren't keeping up, you get lost.
That's the thing. It's also I just can't bring myself to dedicate my time that strictly towards this. Like I just
we know every time we do the intro, we find that out.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah, so it's I feel like this will be a very fun game, especially I think as long as it has a good campaign, I'm happy.
Yeah, the hope is that it's at least manageable for people who are still playing like my hope is that if you're a casual player, there's still something there for you, because a lot of the times these games are easy for casual people to just not be interested in, because it's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, at least they'll have the campaign. They can go through the main campaign.
Yeah, that would be the hope, that at least the single-player aspect of it is good enough to keep people invested, even if they aren't going to play it long-term in the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And am I crazy, or didn't Ant-Man get shown last year during E3?
I don't think so, unless it was like in passing, maybe.
I feel like there was a reveal last E3. Like,
I mean, people are going to tear apart that beta, because they've said that there are secrets hidden for you to find, whether that's like hints to new characters or new possible things or whatever. Like, who knows?
Well, the original Avengers, Ant-Man is part of it, and so is Wasp. Wasp is actually
I would imagine they're going to put like a lot of people in over time, because I mean, like I said, if this game has the shelf life that a lot of these games do, they'll have plenty of time to bring in a lot of people.
But I wonder, like, if this is a game that's like it's going to pull the Grand Theft Auto 5 formula, where it's like, hey, this is good as is. Let's not add a sequel. Let's not change anything.
Oh, I mean, that's okay. GTA is not actually what Avengers is. GTA Online just happened to turn into what GTA 5 is because of all the money they made. Avengers is built to only be what it is. So this game is going to be out as long as this game has a player base, because I could say 5 years, but if people stop playing it in 2 years, like if it's like Anthem, which is probably, I think Anthem is getting a Realm Reborn treatment right now. I think they're going to completely redo this thing and try again.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, something along those lines.
So the game itself is going to go as long as they want it to, until say they do an Avengers 2, or if they want it just to be as long as they want. So I would say, and this is just me thinking out loud, Cap is going to eventually be a character. That's just, there's no way you will not have him in there somewhere. The question is, what do you do next? I would assume Ant-Man would be one of them. You would wonder if other characters outside, like, are X-Men going to be involved in this at all? Like, what's the licensing too? Because we don't know specifically what they have access to as well.
I think this one is going to be strictly the Avengers characters, like the ones we've seen in the MCU. I don't think any X-Men or anything are going to be involved.
And that's the other thing too is when
game.
the movies keep being what they are, does like suddenly Shang-Chi come in?
Yeah.
Shang-Chi I could see coming because
like just
but
to
I
be
don't think he's going to come
timed,
before
right?
the movie.
Or like Guardians of the Galaxy, do they throw in Star-Lord or do they what do they do? You never know. And that's the beauty of this is that it's going to be every 6 to 12 months depending on how fast they boot the expansions out.
We're gonna have an
you're gonna know.
MVGU.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Because they're doing at least
totally down for it. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
Because they're doing at least 4 DLC characters that we saw from today.
Well, Hawkeye is one of them.
Yeah, and they're all included with the game. Like they're just releasing him after for free. It's more they're just expanding the game. And I think I could be mistaken that they were saying that there probably will be a future expansion or expansions. They're going to keep expanding the game, and it'll all be included. Like that's
the other thing too.
Ant-Man.
Now the question too is like if they aren't going to charge for expansions, where is the money going to? So that's the other part. Let's say they aren't charging for expansions. What does that mean they do to try to get money from you? Because there's no way they're just going to release a game. Is it just cosmetics though? Is it things like boosters? Is it things like loot boxes? We don't know. Yeah. I would assume because they've said no and no to DLC or no to microtransactions as well, as far as I remember. Maybe that's Outriders. I can never remember. Everybody's trying to make certain claims here and there. But either way,
I think that Avengers in the last Avengers War Room or whatever the fuck it was called that we watched, they said you can unlock a bunch of stuff. There is alternate costumes that you can buy as a microtransaction.
The hope is that it does what games should do, is that you can buy it or you can get them by grinding. Yeah. It may be a longer grind. Better not be Darth Vader in Star Wars Battlefront level of a grind, but
holy fuck, yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Wow, we spent a lot more time on Avengers than I thought we would. So, moving on. So, a couple of quick stories here. So, I don't think Vishal knows about the series. I mean, you might have heard of it, but I know me and Chris are very familiar with the Suikoden series.
Yeah.
I've played Suikoden 2 on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I actually played it quite in depth.
That's actually true because you were a big Legend of Dragoons guy, so you seem to be okay with RPGs around that time. So that makes sense, actually.
Yeah. So I played quite a bit of it, and I really enjoyed it. I just
well, good news for fans of Suikoden, like me. Hang on, I'm right next to my fucking shelf. This is the beauty of having my shelf next to me. I have access to shit. So I have both 3 and 4. I wish I had 3, or wish I had 5. Sorry, but 5 costs like fucking $150 these days.
So the magic against Suikoden is called a rune, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So good news for all Suikoden fans like myself. The creators launched a Kickstarter for a game that's going to be out for PS5, Series X, Switch, and PC. And it's called, I'm going to butcher this, Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. And it hit its goal in 2 hours.
Yeah,
so what is the game called?
Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. And it is exactly what Suikoden is, the good old 100+ fucking people that you recruit. Yeah. Which I just went... Fuck yeah!
Yeah. Yeah,
how many the developers? It's been so long that I literally cannot think for the life of me. Like, how many people do you get to play at a time?
Well, it's not playable. It's 108 that you can recruit. That includes yourself. However, like a certain percentage of them are playable because some of them are your shop keeps or they're just NPCs. There's stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But usually it's anywhere between like 50 to 60. I think like at least half the roster plus is always playable.
Yeah, half seems about right.
I think that's maybe one reason I'm not.
And there's
into
always
there's
always 2 of them that carry over, like Vicky and I think it's Jean was the other one. That they always show up because they're like the 2 mascots.
This may be one of my issues with JRPGs because there's so many characters there that it's hard to get like an attachment to the characters.
It's different in what you're going for. I don't think everybody approaches Suikoden the same way like a Final Fantasy because Suikoden it's more the scope.
Like you got to know fucking Cloud, Aerith.
I mean now in the remake, not so much back in the day, but you know.
No, but I mean like you at least like a Barrett as well. Like there's a
like if you're talking
like,
Suikoden, it's not the same. Like you definitely like get to know like the few that you start with over time, but for the most part, like Suikoden, more or less, is you wanting to collect everybody and then just putting the people that you think are the coolest in there.
Yeah.
Well, that was also my one of my issues with Chrono Cross. That like there was so many other characters. Like that's what I loved about Legend Dragoon. With Legend Dragoon, there was like that set amount of characters.
Well, I think it depends on what you're approaching for. Like, I don't think Chrono Cross suffered in that, in my opinion, just because the story was still great on its own. It's just a matter of, okay, I really like the story, so I'm going to use... Obviously, you're stuck with Surge. You just can't get away from that. I really like Kid, so if I have Kid, I'm a user, and shit, who do I use? Do I use the guy that fights with his guitar, or do I use the girl that fights with a bongo with 2 carrots? That's usually how I played it. I'm like, I have the 2 I like, and the most ridiculous one I can fucking come up with.
Oh, I know you would.
I know a lot of people are like, I'm a Glenn person, or I'm fucking... What's the girl? Lena? Like, there are always people that would default to certain ones, and I'm like, fuck no.
I use Lena.
I want Janice. Lena. I want fucking carrot and bongo drums, boys.
Like for when I attempted to play Legend Dragoon the second time around, I never finished it. But the second time around, instead of using Dart, the green guy, and Rose, I went with Dart because you have to. I went with the chick with the main girl, like the healer, and then I went with the guy with the giant axe.
Well, that's the thing too. When you have a smaller party
strategic.
thing, it becomes more like, okay, who do you think is the best optical like setup? Whereas games like Suikoden, it's not necessarily optics. It's more like, okay, I have 108 people to choose with. Okay. Well, you're the main character, so I'm stuck with you no matter what. I've been raising from the beginning, so you have all the stats I've put into. You're hot as fuck, and you're also hot as fuck. Okay, there's my team of 4. Let's go.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's it. That's totally it.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's why there's that one, especially back in those days when you had like a million different JRPGs. There were all those options. You could have the Suikodens, or you had your Final Fantasies, or your I guess not Chrono, because Square hates money. But
fucking
Final Fantasy 7, like you don't get no other characters join in on the party as opposed to when you start with. Am I correct?
Oh no, there are late ones. Ask Final Fantasy 7 fans; they have their hateable ones like Yuffie, who I don't understand, Vincent, who I also don't understand, and Kate Sith, who I actually do understand. Kate Sith was a fucking waste, and apparently still is.
Why is he there? Why is fucking?
Is he the dude with the cape?
No, he's like the giant fucking mascot thing.
Giant Moogle with a cat on his back.
No, literally like giant, fluffy stuffed animal thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think there's 7 characters? No, 8, because Sid.
Because it's Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, Yuffie, Red 13, Kate Sith, Sid, and Vincent, so it's 9.
9.
Okay.
Vincent.
But anyways, JRPGs aside.
Like, the way I look at it with that core amount of characters, you can at least, like, kind of, like, grow, like, admiration or care for those amount of characters.
So you'd like Final Fantasy games then?
Well, I think, like I said, again, I got quite deep into Final Fantasy 7. I'm gonna wait until I get my PS5, which actually may happen in 2020, and get the remake full version.
Yeah, well, the remake full version we won't probably see for a couple more years, but yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out in like 5 years.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wait, what?
He was half joking, I think, because we don't know for sure. It sounded like they were trying to do a part every 3 years, but
no, it'll be part 2.
But there's only 2 parts, right?
It depends. We don't know what they're doing at this point.
Oh, motherfucker!
If they stop part 1 where they stopped, and then they put the rest of the game in part 2, that's like a fuck you at this point, because the first part is like the first 6 hours.
Either that or part 2 is going to be 500 gigabytes.
Yeah, or like it's just, why didn't you just do this as one game at that point?
So it was actually just yesterday. I went for a walk just to like.
If this better be quick because we're running way over time already.
It will. And I was listening to the bombing mission for the Final Fantasy VII remake. The bass drum in that sounds fucking incredible. That's all I want to say.
Okay, well that was a waste of 15 seconds. All right, moving on.
You're welcome.
Another quick thing: Steam is getting PSO2, so I'm kind of mad at myself for even bothering with the Windows Store now, because I didn't think it was going to come to Steam.
It's cross-play and
Yeah, I don't fucking care. Fuck the Windows Store. I'm still fucking mad.
Oh, Fantasy Star Online.
I should be deep in that game still, and the store was such a piece of shit that I just said, fuck it, I'm done.
if it makes you feel better, it may still be a piece of shit when it opens on Steam. It
Well, at
doesn't
least I'll
necessarily
trust
mean it
Steam a
works
little bit better to launch the game, because that was my problem. Launching the game was impossible.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty gay. That's just stupid.
But yeah, August the 5th is going to be when that comes out, which is right in line of all the other shit that I'm interested in. So who knows? Maybe I'll go back to that and try it again. Who knows? We'll see. But
it's also a good game to do on the side.
I'm more curious, though, just because of them announcing New Genesis, which sounds like a Realm Reborn Phantasy Star Online too, so I may just wait and see what goes on with that. But either way, it's just a small thing. I just thought that was really funny that Windows was like, okay, only on Windows Store, you guys got to play it here, and then within like a month or so, here it is on Steam.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ugh.
Another small thing, the PS5's plates, those white plates that we saw on the console, may actually be swappable. So images seem to suggest that you can just take the thing right out, which offers the chance that you could customize it however you want. That means also you could buy... I think that would be nice, because it would be nice if you wanted to get a special edition but already owned a console, you could just buy the plates. That'd be kind of an interesting idea.
Yep.
Or obviously, like I said, you could literally take it to an artist that you know and have them paint on it. You can do that.
Yeah. Or you can be a weirdo and take the plates off and just never put any plates on.
Yeah, and then like have to listen to the fan over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, another small thing, just nothing special. I mean, we still obviously don't know much more about the console, but but that is what it is. Now I'm gonna, in the midst of trying to switch and transition at the same time, we had another PlayStation-related announcement, that being that all of a sudden, as of yesterday, Cuphead just randomly showed up on the fucking PlayStation Store.
Yeah, like...
Which was like, oh shit!
So I honestly thought it was on the PlayStation
Nope,
Store.
it was an Xbox exclusive for quite a long time.
Oh, okay. I thought...
And I thought because of how popular that was, that Xbox would try their ass off to keep it away from PlayStation. As soon as Steam got it, I'm like, okay... But that's PC, maybe. But as soon as Steam got it, I'm like, man, it has to come to other devices at some point, right? And
it came out on Switch like a year ago.
See, and that tells you how much I forgot about that.
I think that's why I thought it was already on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah.
On Xbox
They came
Switch.
out with a really nice like stop motion trailer, which is kind of neat and so perfectly in line with what Cuphead's been.
Yeah,
just absolutely fucking
Cuphead has its animated series on Netflix coming soon.
Oh, I forgot about that too. That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that like games are suddenly becoming like in vogue to actually make television shows of now? Because now we have like Last of Us having a series, Uncharted's got a movie, Mortal Kombat's got a new movie coming, Cyberpunk's gonna have an anime,
Angry Birds, and even
okay, but we're talking about fun. We're talking about good things, Vish. Like, come on.
In all fairness, I love Cut the Rope.
No. We're talking good things, Vish. No, mobile games don't count.
I love
mobile games don't count.
They still have shows. And
I will mute your fucking ass into the ground for being a mobile game supporter. You shut the fuck up.
Doesn't matter. But it's like it's good that like the more it is there, it's more norm and it's more exposure for the gaming culture.
Fuck the gaming culture if it's mobile games. I don't care. Anyway, the last story before we get on to our big topic of the day. Ubisoft again, but not for the same kind of reasons we're used to. It does have to do though with one of the douchebags that fucking didn't get fired, Eves. He just resigned.
Stepped down.
He got to keep all his money. We went through that last week. Again, motherfucker doesn't remember or listen to anything we say, so fuck. But apparently, the Dragon Age designer who was hired and then disappeared within a year, apparently what he was working on was a King Arthur RPG for Ubisoft, and was canceled abruptly because Serge Hesco, I'm probably butchering his last name, but fuck him, who cares, apparently didn't like the fantasy setting. That's it. Game was shut down because he didn't like it.
Yeah, and then the guy left. He left Ubisoft like weeks after that happened, apparently, which nobody knew the reason, but now we
so it just shows us that apparently Ubisoft doesn't like money. So like we said before last week, fuck Ubisoft.
Yeah, imagine Ubisoft's power of how they can make games and their engines and all that in a giant fantasy RPG.
Yep,
it would probably have been fantastic.
Oh, it would have.
Dumb. They're dumb. Well, Surge is dumb.
And plus, this is a mythology that is quite mainstream and quite familiar with like everybody. Like it's a very common
Dude,
piece of
who would not
literature
want to have a
that's taught
fucking
in
Sword in the
school.
Stone RPG? That would be so fucking cool. It'd be like Master
Yeah.
Sword all over again.
It would. They could basically have combined like Dragon Age and Zelda and made a freaking crazy giant RPG. And my money.
But
They
yeah,
could
like I
have
said,
taken-
fuck Ubisoft. So let's move on from the douchebags, shall we? Yeah. So Xbox.
Yeah.
All right. So to spoil everything, quite frankly, Microsoft, talking to you, buddy. If you wanted to stir me away from that console, you failed exponentially. Because you just proved again through this showcase that you're the bro console. Because what was most of this showcase? Bro games. And you tried to show
it's the bro.
and you tried to show us indie games to hide the fact that you're still the bro console. So I just want to briefly take a moment before we talk about everything that was shown in there. The reason why this generation has failed so exponentially for Microsoft. If you go to Wikipedia and look up the top selling games on each console, and you sort out by exclusives, the top 10 best-selling games on console for PlayStation 4, I think 6 or 7 of them are exclusives, because that's Spider-Man, Horizon, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Well, I think Ghost of Tsushima is almost catching up there, but Last of Us Part 2 is already in the top 10, and it's been out not even a month. You have God of War.
Yep.
You have... I'm missing something else, but you get my point. You go to Xbox... I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, one exclusive is their top 10.
Halo.
Yeah, Halo 5. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is GTA, PUBG, like all these games that are just multi-platform.
Madden.
No, actually, not Madden. Surprisingly enough, there's not that many idiots to put it in the top 10.
Because they're buying multiple games over multiple years, so one game didn't get enough sales.
And I also looked at and this was printed in September, so I didn't get like an up-to-date version of this, but it was the top 10 exclusives on each console. Sony had, not counting MLB games, like MLB is really popular on their console because it's the only baseball game on that console that's a major release. So they own 10, 9, and 8, but 7 to 1, I think only 2 of them were from the same series. You go to Xbox's version, their entire top 10 is, I think 7 of them were just Forza, Halo, and Gears. So if that tells you why Sony's doing so well, is because their first-party games are so good. I'm going to ask this question to you, Chris, because you actually watched the whole show.
Have a better variety and amount of them.
No,
Xbox
it's strictly that Sony's actually trying to put out games that aren't just one specific thing. Because you tell me, Chris, you watched that showcase. How many new, fresh games did you see that actually look like on par with stuff like what we've seen with Spider-Man and Horizon 2 and stuff like that, that aren't Halo?
Yeah, I was going to say the only game I was super excited about was Halo Infinite.
Because you go through the rest of this, and by the way, I know that they've done one already, but this is their first big response to Sony. And this, game-wise, I'm not saying that the console's not good, guys. I'm just saying, as a follow-up to Sony, this didn't do anything to change anybody's minds. Because all you did was reinvigorate, you're already going to be their customer base. You didn't pull anybody away with this. And you might have, but you had one game that you could have shown us stuff, but you just showed us a 30-second cinematic trailer, and that was it, and it didn't do anything. But we'll get into that as we go.
Like, yeah. That game I would be excited about if it was closer and saw the actual.
And we'll get into it. And look, I'm going to say for the rest of this podcast, I do have a Sony bias. I'm not going to hide it. But I've tried to be really fair with this, and I will try to be really fair when I talk about everything in this showcase. So, starting off, we do have Halo Infinite. They at least kicked it off smart. They at least did what they should have done, which is get the big one out of the way, because that's what everybody wanted to see. Right. Now, I will say a couple of things. If this is what the Xbox graphically is capable of, that's a bad sign. Because that last little bit where they showed the close-up of the... I can't remember what the because I know it's some variation of the Covenant. Yeah. That didn't look good for a new next gen console. That looked very PS4, Xbox One graphics.
Yeah, the brute guy.
Yeah, it did not look good. Yeah. Like I sat there and looked at it and said, "This legitimately looks like early PS4 to me." Yeah, like people were comparing it to Last of Us original. We're comparing it to PS3 Last of Us, and you almost think Joel looks better. That's weird.
Wow. Yeah.
Now they've
Yeah,
said
they came out after.
they said it. No, I've heard that it's a pre-alpha.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, that's even dumber on Microsoft's part because you're supposed to be showing this thing off, and that doesn't look that great. I'm not saying it didn't look good. Like, it looked like a Halo game. And I think that's probably my biggest complaint is that it just looked like another Halo game. It just happens to be a slightly bigger Halo game.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a Halo fan, that's cool. Like, you're basically getting to play Halo with a bigger scope. It's like the second level of Halo 1, but everything is the second level of Halo 1.
Yeah.
But if that's it, like, one of the guys I follow on YouTube, he's a big Halo fan, and he said, like, he ended up rewatching the trailer and kind of loosened up a little bit, but the first time he watched it, just reacting to it, he finished it and went, why is everybody happy? Like, this doesn't look impressive at all. Like, this doesn't look like they've done anything new. And he kind of went back at it, and he kind of looked at it again. He's like, okay, I mean, you can tell he's trying to, like, find stuff. And that's worrisome as a hardcore fan watching him struggle to, like, find things to like.
That's true.
Because, I mean,
true.
sure,
Like,
there's the grappling hook. That looks cool. That looks like fun. But, I mean,
yeah.
like, I watched it and went, man, like, this legitimately looks like I could have just gone back to Halo and didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it looked fun. Like, the gameplay wise, I definitely wanted to play it. I'm also biased in the sense that I just got very heavy into Halo.
That
this
is also
month.
true, yeah.
And you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like,
but
I'm
honestly,
looking
like what I'm
forward
saying
to
is,
more.
you could literally stop playing Halo and just go to 5, and you'll be like, yeah, this is exactly what I know. Which to me, after so many games, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, that's the only thing I'm saying is, like, this demo that they showed didn't have a wow factor, which it should if this is your first gameplay reveal of Halo.
Yeah, they definitely, the graphics looked nice in the sense like that, like an Xbox One game looks nice, like, obviously, but Xbox Series X, I don't know, it doesn't feel.
I mean, look, if you're
gen.
saying it's 60 frames and it's this massive open world, I mean, cool, but it's just Halo then. Like, I've played Halo.
I would admit that the opening cinematic right to the gameplay, that load that happened, very fast. So obviously the SSD and stuff, there didn't seem to be any slowdown from all the stuff. Like,
I mean, the stream had some slowdown. Holy shit!
The what? Sorry,
the stream itself was a mess.
Oh, the stream itself, yes.
The lag in the stream was sometimes unbearable at times. It was bad.
I did not.
Like, I swear to God, I thought they were running off dial-up at some points in that stream.
It looked like it was almost like showing in slow-mo.
Dude, no, not slow-mo, but it was like cutting out. Like, it would suddenly be like 2 seconds ahead, like out of nowhere. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it froze a lot.
That's not good.
No.
But I mean, like, and look, I'm gonna say this again. This is a part bias, but I went at this showcase, and I'm gonna say this throughout the showcase. I went in looking, okay, this is where Xbox needs to get my attention to make me think about going away from Sony. This didn't do that. Showing Halo did make me go, oh, I need to play this. Now, granted, I have Game Pass on PC, so who knows? Maybe I'll still get to play a lot of these games down the road. But if we're talking me buying a console, most of the stuff we see just made me go, no, I might as well stick with PlayStation. Like, what's different? What's the point?
I don't see you buying a Xbox at all.
I mean, unless I get that sweet Cash for Life money, that's a different story. But, you know, I might sooner buy a Switch than I buy an Xbox still. So I got Fire Emblem waifus to get.
Yeah, this is true. It's interesting because I almost felt like they weren't just, or maybe they weren't very focused on selling the console. They mentioned it's coming to the console, but it was more, hey, by the way, all of this is still coming to PC, and all of this is going to be on Game Pass day one, no matter where
this
you
is
plan on
this is going to
playing
be
it.
a theme throughout the showcase, I should say. I think Xbox is trying to hit you with quantity. So the sound to me at this juncture, and I could be wrong down the road, I'm just looking at it from what I see now, I think Xbox is trying to hit you with just the sheer number of stuff, and Sony is trying to hit you with the sheer high-end quality of their stuff.
Yeah.
I would prefer the quality over the quantity.
I mean, given these days,
Like,
because,
the
I mean, granted,
quantity's
if
good,
we're
but it's just
18
like-
and don't have, like, massive jobs and things to worry about, yeah, we got a little bit more time. You could probably play, like, a bunch of shit ton of games. But for us, it's like, man, if I'm going to play something for, like, a couple of weeks, it better be fucking good.
Yeah. Oh,
Like this, like when with me for gaming, it's like I'm either like there's times I don't have my PC or my PS4 on for like weeks at a time, like right now. But then there's times that like I disappear for about 2 weeks because I'm so hooked.
Because he's not a gamer, guys.
Like Metal.
Hot take.
he's busy
No, like
playing
Metal
cut
Gear
the rope.
No, like Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, like I was so hooked on it that like I just disappeared for a few weeks, and I feel like Avengers is going to be the same situation. Like when that comes out, depending on what the rating is, I'll be like, they'll be like, are you in a podcast? I'm like, no, playing Avengers right now.
No,
So,
I can't. I'd be
that's
like,
just
you're
like-
banned then. Actually, you know what? Go play Avengers.
What?
We'll be fine without you.
Sure you will.
Oh, by the way, here, like it's on the
Uh,
stream right now. They're showing. I'll let the Halo thing play a little bit longer, just so people can see the close up if they haven't already. But yeah,
Okay.
it really just worries me that like this was the best they could do. Like,
So,
and again, if it's
one
pre-alpha,
thing I was-
that's even dumber. Just because it's like, guys, like this was supposed to be a showcase. Like, you really got to show us the good stuff.
So
Yeah.
I was playing Hot Shots Golf this weekend with
So you
with
did
my
play
family.
something this week.
Yeah.
Does it really count though?
I mean,
Well,
it'd be better.
granted, we all love.
I
Hot
mean,
Shots
look,
Golf.
it'd be protecting you from us just saying, yeah, look, we have this guy show up on the podcast. He doesn't actually do anything, and he doesn't actually read up on the stuff we talk about, but here he is.
He doesn't actually own any
so-
games.
There's a new one coming out for the next gen, which is I can't fucking wait because that's the type of sports game that's just I miss. It was just fun. It was just like you could play and just fuck around and it's just fun.
I don't know how he went
So,
from Halo to Hot Shots, but you know.
No, but
Yeah.
what I am segueing it in a way. Believe it.
No,
or
you're
not.
not. You're not segueing. You're
Don't you-
tangenting.
So when we were talking about like the graphical jump between PS4 to PS5.
Okay, are you
and
about to
that
try to sell
generation-
me a Hot Shots graphic change?
No. Yes and no. So what I'm saying is that I don't think gaming graphics itself is going to be that significantly different. I think what's going to be different is the secondary elements.
Yes.
So when I was playing Hot Shots, like you look at the horizon, the clouds are stiff. They're still. There's like a very stiff like environment background. Like nothing's really going on unless it's raining or like exceptionally windy. So when I was talking to my family about like how the next generation, that the jump from PS4 to PS5 graphically won't be that different, but what will probably change is the size of the environment, because it'll have bigger worlds because it can handle that, and also the secondary elements in it. Like for example, in a game like Hot Shots, the clouds will probably be moving. There'll probably be more elements. Like there'll probably be like dandelions, like flying. Like
you are doing a horrible job at selling me at Hot Shots right now, by the way.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, like that'll be the graphical enhancement. It'll be the secondary.
Okay, I'm going to correct
elements.
you because that doesn't mean shit. You know what? It's actually going to be a big deal for, say, a game like Hot Shots, not having to wait 30 seconds for a round to load.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. That the I'm talking strictly graphics right now, not performance. Like the whole thing about having, like, not having to wait for a round to load. That is going to be fucking incredible because that was the biggest irritation.
Well, if
when we were
all you
playing.
want to
It's
talk
like we
about,
go to a
honestly, is
next
dandelions
hole.
and Hot Shots, we should probably move on because we have a crap ton of Xbox games to talk about.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Go ahead. It's fine. I just wanted to mention like what I think the changes and enhancement would be graphically for a game like that.
Well, this is making my ears bleed. You know what made my ears bleed? Because it's literally showing in the fucking video right now is the State of Decay 3 trailer because that girl screaming that thing scared the shit out of me.
That is a good segue. I don't need to do a shot for that one. That was
Fuck
a good
me.
segue.
Like, I watched that
It was-
trailer. I'm like, I don't know what
Chris
this
is gonna
is.
wake up
And then I
blind
just
tomorrow.
turned my volume up because I'm like, what's going on? And all I hear is, yeah, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
That was That was a very interesting.
Did you ever watch that movie Beowulf, where the guy just screams out of nowhere? It was
I'm gonna mute you for
terrifying.
fucking tangenting on every fucking thing we do. I swear to God.
I'm just saying that scream was fucking terrifying as well.
Yes, thank you. Going back to State of Decay, there's a third State of Decay. I don't know why we need a third State of Decay unless you're just making another one for a new console, I guess. Sure. But I went back and I'm like,
That's probably why
I don't even know if that many people played State of Decay 2 because I haven't heard much talked about. So unless this is just Xbox again, be like, hey, it's more games, guys. You like games, right? And we're like, yeah, is it going to be good? Because State of Decay hasn't really been that good, really. I don't know.
I think they're trying to push exclusives, and this is one of the few they have.
Yeah, which is not a good sign.
No. I mean, I did wishlist State of Decay 2 on Steam after.
I have it installed on Game Pass. I just don't think I'm going to touch it for a while because I have nobody to play with.
Yeah. I mean, when I buy it, maybe we'll play.
Let's see. Next up, they did the weird thing that I hate that companies do, which is take a game that's been going on for a long time and then stop giving it a number. Because apparently Forza is not being numbered anymore.
Yeah, I can't even remember what number they were at.
It would have been Forza 8, I think. And now it's just Forza Motorsport again. I'm like, guys, stop. No one cares that your game sounds old. In fact, like, here's the thing. WWE, for example, I know I'm tangenting too, but I just have to get this out. They don't number WrestleMania anymore because they're afraid that people know how old they are. I'm like, that's the point. You should want people to know how long you've been running for. That's why UFC sounds so impressive, because they've done so many pay-per-views.
Yeah.
When UFC 1000 assuming UFC 1000 happens, do you think that's not going to sound amazing? Final Fantasy 50 is going to sound... Well, I don't think we're going to be living to see Final Fantasy 50. I don't think as a species we'll make it to 50.
No, we'll be dead by then.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you get my point. Like, Forza 8 is like it's fine. Why are you not naming it Forza 8? It's like when
they should.
It's like when they brought Need for Speed back. It's like, this is Need for Speed. Mortal Kombat is the exception because Mortal Kombat was so bad for so long that it needed that. That was deserving. What did Forza do to need a new name? It didn't. It's just a car game. No one cares. You can't fuck up a car game.
Mario Kart. Mario Kart on the Switch is Mario Kart 8. Done.
After that, it's now playing in the stream. There was Everwild, which was this weird, like, cel-shady forest, like...
Oh, yeah.
Natives summoning shit. I don't know. They didn't really show gameplay, so I don't know what to think of it. This is another theme in Xbox. Xbox didn't show a lot of gameplay for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that game was about at all.
Yeah, so I can't really answer. It could be like another artsy game like Ori and the Blind Forest. We don't know. It could be an adventure game. Could be kind of like that Breath of the Wild game that you were talking about, Windbound, I think it was.
Yeah.
Could be something like that. I don't fucking know, but that's the problem with a lot of these cinematic trailers for games no one's ever heard of, is we don't know what the hell we're looking at.
It's actually a first-person shooter. That was all the cutscenes in between.
That would be kind of funny, actually.
It would fit for Xbox.
After that, Don't Nod came out with a new, I guess, chapter story game. It's not Life is Strange, it's Tell Me Why, which is code for tell me why I should play another Don't Nod entertainment game, because I'm already done with it after one Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
I get it. This is supposed to be the artsy games for people that they just want to see stories and see a little bit of diversity and stuff. It's like, guys, like, I need something that's just not a point-and-click adventure every single time. Which is why I still need to play Vampire, because that's a Don't Nod game I need to look into.
That's a Don't Nod game?
Yes. That is the Life is Strange, guys.
I did not nod and know that.
I should almost make you take a shot for that.
Yeah, I should almost do it for my own horribleness.
Don't nod, should you know that?
Yeah. Next up, quickly showed off a remastered version of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I think it is.
Will of the Wisps, yeah. It's the
so they were
one.
showing it in 120 frames, which you should see the animation quality of like the enemies. That looks fucking amazing for 120 frames. Again, that shows you just how important frames per second actually is for games.
Yeah, that'd be, because that game is a Metroidvania, but it's also known for being tough.
Yes.
And it's very precise button hitting fucking attacks and move sets you have to use at the right moment, or else you die and then have to do it again. So 120 frames would make that smoother. Like, it would actually, you'd feel it in that game.
For sure.
At 120 frames, is our human eyes able to?
Oh, you can tell the difference.
Notice the difference.
Oh yeah,
you definitely will.
Okay.
You've been playing on PS4, so you've been mostly seeing 30
Well, that's the
frames.
thing, we're
If you went
used
from
to-
30 to 120, you'd be like, why?
Because
does
we're
this
used to
look
30
so
frames,
good?
and then I think it's, what is it, 24 for film? Or
24
27?
for film. 24 is
No, because
required, so it looks
when
like
I
a
went-
moving object.
Yeah.
When I saw the Hobbit, the third one,
Mhm.
it was displaying in 120 frames, and it looked kind of weird.
Because you're not used to it.
It looked
Yeah, you're just
When,
not
when
used
you
to it.
when
I
you're
don't know what-
when you're
yeah,
expecting
film-
24 frames, 120 is a fucking shock to your system.
yeah.
yeah, because it like when my friend was watching it was like, is it going in fast forward? Like it's the frame rate, and it just looked weird.
Trust me, in
So-
video games, it looks beautiful.
It actually
Oh, yeah,
might,
believe me, it
but I
will.
found
Like
When I
imagine
first saw
Cuphead
it,
in 120 frames.
Yeah, these are the type of games that
it's
would need it.
not
And it would do it.
rage-inducing to begin with.
No, it has nothing to do with rage inducing. It's just beautiful to the eyes because of the fluidity of the animation.
Yeah,
But,
it'll be more fluid, which should make it slightly easier, maybe even to play.
Yes. But again, because I'm trying to keep us off tangents, moving on to something else that's just weird because I just noticed this. So, The Outer Worlds is playing right now because they're putting new content in. It's very strange though because you know how YouTube does the chaptering now, so you can actually set timestamps. For some reason, nobody caught it on GameSpot's version of this showcase because this is who I'm using. They listed The Outer Worlds as The Outer Wilds in their chapter selection.
Oh, of course
So
they did.
nice
Those
job,
games are too similar in
GameSpot.
name.
But yeah, Outer
I mean, as a
Worlds.
journalist, you know what I mean?
Outer Worlds is getting more content. Cool. Sweet. I
Yeah.
just finished the game. I don't think I'm going to go back to it, so I guess okay. Next up, they showed a little bit more Grounded, which looks interesting at the same time. Like, it looks like if you took Minecraft, but it was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. One, I really liked how they advertised that game. At the beginning, it was like, if you want an epic game in 2020, buy Cyberpunk. This game is for when you're not playing Cyberpunk and you just kind of want to chill with your friends.
Yeah.
I was like, this kind of sold me a
That's
little.
exactly how you sell people on a game. You don't hide the fact that this is a very silly, like,
Yeah.
chill game.
Yeah, and
But
it's
it looks
crazy
cool.
because that game is now out, and it is like the top 2 game or something on Steam right now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's
Well,
on Game Pass.
It's not surprising, too, because, like, what are the biggest games on Steam always? Games like Rust.
Oh, yeah.
So Grounded makes
I just
perfect
mean-
sense.
Yeah, I just mean it's available on Game Pass, and people are buying it with no discount at, like, I think 30 US. It might be 30 Canadian, but I think it's 30 US. Where they could have just got it on Game Pass on PC. It's there.
But
But
as
they're
we've
choosing to
learned,
buy it too.
people are really heavy on Steam, hence the Epic hate.
Yeah, yes, the very heavy. But I mean, Game Pass is so good. Just pay it and play it there.
Yeah.
My goodness. Unless it's a game you plan on playing like literally every month for like the next 6 months. Like, fine, yes, it would be cheaper to just buy it than do a Game Pass way. But still. Crazy. But yeah, it does look fun.
Yeah, next up we had Obsidian's new game. Now that once they're finished the Outer Worlds, so they already said, okay, Fallout, we're gonna deal with you. And now they got their eyes on Skyrim.
Yep.
Now Obsidian's got their eyes on, okay, Skyrim, let's show you how it's like. They're probably looking at Bethesda being like, you guys don't want to release Elder Scrolls 6 for another fucking 20 years? All right, we'll take the spot. We don't care.
Yeah.
So it looks like
And
they're
I
doing
trust them to do
exactly
it.
that with Avowed, and I'm definitely interested in seeing what they do. Because now that they've gotten a game under their belt with Outer Worlds, I'd love to see what they do with a little more experience again. And with I don't really like Elder Scrolls games that much, but I really, really love Skyrim, so I'd like to see what they can do with that kind of a setup.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't Obsidian who does Grounded as well? Am I?
You might be
or
right
wrong?
on that.
Yeah. They had 3 games to showcase. And all very different.
And all very good from the looks of it, so.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's next up here? Which one was this? As Dusk Falls. Which one was this? Did they even show anything on this?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, this is the one where they didn't show gameplay, they showed stills. That's right, I forgot about that. So I don't really remember what it was. Sounds like another story, like base, like chapter-ish game kind of deal. But yeah, it was just like still shots. Didn't really show much, so I didn't get a sense of that one. Can't really tell you much about it. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I still need to play the first one because I'm told it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I have the first one. I have it like on PC. Apparently, you got to play the game with like headphones and everything because
That I've heard as well.
yeah, it's apparently incredible.
Because that was another game that definitely was getting like not just gaming attention; it was getting like media attention because of its art.
Yeah, because the main character is apparently somebody with something going on in her mind. So it's actually about you experiencing something like I don't know if it's anxiety or schizophrenia or something. Like she's actually got something, and the screen will just have random shit. And when you're wearing headphones, you can hear it all around you.
Yeah,
what it sounds like to be in her head, which is fucking crazy.
So basically, it's just me playing, except instead of hearing, "Don't you like boobs? You want to watch boobs? Boobs? Boobs?" It'll just be creepy shit instead. So I guess it's a bit of a changeover.
Yeah.
Next up was the trippy phase of this, where they showed off Psychonauts 2, okay. I just want to preface this. I really did like the first Psychonauts. I feel like it's too late. I feel like they took too long. This is just my opinion.
When did the first one come out? Because
Xbox,
like it's a 90s
original
game.
Xbox.
Oh fuck! So it's been a while.
Yes. And again, you know what? I'm not even biting on you on that one. So,
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Jack Black, they showed him off. He sings like one of the songs that plays during the game. That was kind of cool. But again, I just keep looking at it and I go, okay, what's wrong here? Oh, I think Chris is frozen. Uh-oh. I think we lost Chris. Well, we'll figure that part out as we go. That's a later problem. Yeah, for the time being.
That's future VCR problem.
See, I'm busy.
That's
I'm busy
problem.
on the stream, Vish. Can you do me a favor and like message Chris because he hasn't left yet? Can you just tell him, because I don't know if he can hear me or not, that he's not doing any responding to us. But I'll carry on as we go. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't mind Psychonauts. I just look at it now and I'm thinking, man, like you have. It's like when they released the new Duke Nukem finally after like 10 years. You have a lot of people to please now after being gone for so long. So my worry is that by releasing a game so late that, by the way, I can't get past the fact that Chris's face right now on his freezing screenshot is just fucking amazing. For anybody who's only listened to the audio version, you are missing out on just the best like freeze frame. But
right now, I see the squares like going in squares, like the loading screen on.
Oh,
Chris.
I'm not getting that. I'm just getting like inquisitive Chris face. It's fucking great.
I think he's restarting his computer.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Like I mean, thankfully, we'll probably not be at Fable until he gets back. So ideally, that's what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Psychonauts 2 is just like, again, it's a game that is going to be pretty cool for those who miss it. But I think it's been so long that I don't think I'm capable of missing it anymore.
I feel like is it like an arcade type shooter?
No, it was a platform.
Oh, okay. And it was like a 3D platform, like Mario 64 almost.
Yeah, in a way, similar to such.
Oh, okay. And with a gun for shooting. Again, I never had an Xbox.
Well, then why are you guessing?
I'm literally assuming from what I vaguely remember from seeing it online. So is Psychonauts like a game that like you go on platforms and you have a gun to shoot other aliens?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I'm gonna stop guessing what Psychonauts.
Yes. You should probably sit down. And yes, I know I know you're already sitting down. I know.
Okay. I'm sitting down and I'm listening.
Otherwise, moving on, they talked a little bit more about Game Pass. Nothing too of note. They never did mention what was going on with the Xbox Live Gold, even though that was a thing we were talking about last week and was rumored about. They never mentioned anything what was going to change with Game Pass in terms of pricing or anything. That never came out. Maybe that's a later thing they do. Although I figure with the leaks, if that was going to be a thing that happened, they should have just said it. But, you know.
If you have Xbox Game Pass, if they do it better, Chris, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say my internet has died. It is dead.
Sweet.
Yeah, just what I wanted.
All right.
Finally, someone that happens to that's not me.
Well, I got good news and bad news then. The good news is you're back on the podcast. The bad news is, oh wait, sorry, there is no bad news because the other good news is that I don't have to have you guys on camera anymore because it fucked up the stream. So it's just your logo's up. Yes.
Yay!
No one has to see Vish's face anymore. Good.
I got the best face, bitch.
Sure, because I guess it makes up for the lack of brain. All right, moving on. Like I said, we were talking about Xbox Game Pass. Didn't announce anything. They briefly showed off more Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which I really, really want to care about, and I'm so burnt out that I can't. I can't do it. Every time they release something, I'm like, now they're at the point that there's a big thing they're showing off called the Darkness. This isn't like Kingdom Hearts. It's this thing that we've known about since the very beginning of Destiny, and now it's finally becoming a thing, and now we get to wield the darkness. And as a Destiny longtime player, I'm like, that's fucking cool. And then the other part of me is going, like, yeah, but I don't care anymore. I don't want to play.
Would this technically be Destiny 3 then?
No, it's definitely not Destiny 3.
Okay.
No, it's expansion to 2, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then they moved on and shocked the world by releasing a game that I don't know if people asked for, because Stalker 2 is now a thing. And I don't think a lot of people remember that game existed because Metro kind of took over that.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I am somebody who definitely didn't know Stalker existed, or like, I'm even wondering what the fuck is.
It is a first-person shooter that takes place in Chernobyl.
Oh, okay, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, and that's why. And it was a game that was supposed to happen on PC for a long time, and then it finally came out, and it was okay. And then Metro came out and went, "Move over, bitch, we got this," and they took over since. Yeah. So now that there's a Stalker 2, my brain just went, "Who asked?" Recently, there's been a lot of those games that I've been like, "Who asked for this?" I don't think anybody asked for this game. But I mean,
probably just made just enough money on the first one where they're like, yeah, if we make a sequel.
I mean, look, who knows? Maybe it's going to be an amazing game. I'm just saying, I don't know anybody who even remembers the original, so yeah.
It sounds like a very unnecessary, unwanted sequel almost.
Like I said, quantity over quality, I think.
Yep.
Next up, we had a Warhammer 40,000. Or Warhammer 40k, sorry, I should really say that to not piss off the tabletop folk. Warhammer 40k Darktide. I've never played a Warhammer video game, and I know they have nothing to do with the tabletop. It's more like shooters and stuff. So
I have played through Warhammer Vermintide, though it has definitely nothing to do with any of the tabletops because its setting is completely unique for that specific video game.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. It's Left 4 Dead, where instead of zombies, they're giant rat people in a medieval setting.
Yeah, and I mean, I look at that just being like, a probably like a cheap like $30, $40 game that you can just kind of have some fun with, and especially if you have a penchant for the license already.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't see anything that made me go woo. It was just like another thing. And then another thing that didn't make me go woo because I'm like, okay, this is just the same thing. Tetris Effect.
Yep.
It's like, okay, Tetris, cool. I don't know why they need to be announced on a Microsoft conference when you're trying to take us away from Sony, but, that's the thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's more a Nintendo thing anyways.
We got some more indie stuff here. We got the Gunk, which reminded me of, like, a lot of other indie games that I also haven't played.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not trying to speak ill of indie games. It's just my time is so limited that, like, when I don't know anything about stuff, it's even harder to get me to like something. That's what Game Pass has kind of helped with. Now I can take risks on games.
That's one thing great about EGLX, that we can try the indie games and be like, hey, this is actually pretty
awesome.
Well,
but to be fair, also, those games are the indie of indie. Like, they're even further outside of that scope.
Yeah, true.
But, like, I wouldn't have tried a game like Crosscode had it not been for Game Pass. So who knows? Maybe this ends up being something on Game Pass I try and go, oh, that's kind of cool. But
it's a hidden gem.
But that didn't do anything to get my attention either. They showed us a little bit more of the Medium, which is one of those creepy games they showed in the previous showcase. I think that was the one, if I'm not mistaken, with the weird like ghost baby thing. If I'm not mistaken, if that's what it was
from the first showcase.
Yeah.
This one's interesting because apparently, from what they showed, it's running twice. Like the game is actually always running two
Yeah, it's
instances
it's
of what
it's
you're
like
playing, one in the first
Zelda
world, one in the other.
with Dark World, but Dark World's always running at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean that's pretty neat as a way to do it, and have when you switch over to the other world, it's already there. Like the loading time between that action of switching between the two would be in theory almost instant.
Yeah, again, showing the beauty of the solid state drive. So
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, that's just another thing that we
That
already
solid
saw.
state drive is really gonna just like blow people's minds away to a next level.
Oh yeah, it's gonna push shit real forward. I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about PSO2 on Steam. They showed off New Genesis, which is looking like a revamped version of the game itself, which I'm probably more interested in playing rather than just getting it on Steam next week. Because this looks like they've definitely improved a lot, including the graphics, which, again, I don't want to be a stickler for graphics, but the original game is like 10 years old already, so
Yeah.
so that's
And
just
we're
cool.
just getting it now.
Yeah. Then there was Crossfire X, which apparently was already teased, and I kind of forgot which one that was.
Yeah, I definitely forgot about it until this showcase.
But then I saw it and it was another shooter. I'm like, okay, so bro game.
And then they're trying to compete with their own exclusive Call of Duty, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And then last but not least, good thing you came back just in time, Chris. We had what could have been anything and then just ended up being Fable but didn't show anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the fact of a new Fable game. I saw today that the writer of it is the writer of Arkham Dark Knight, and there are developers from GTA 5 that are working on it.
There is a large collection of developers from very many places working on that game.
Do you mean Arkham Knight, not Arkham Dark Knight?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Arkham Knight.
Okay, well, I just
Sorry,
wanted to make sure.
you spoke something about Batman. It's the one thing Vish actually remembers stuff from, so he had to jump in on that.
Yeah, true.
No, I honestly I didn't know if there was something different or new coming out.
That is
or if that
impossible.
came out that I
No
didn't know
one would know about that stuff other than you. How many times have you been on this show and you've been like, did you guys watch that animated thing that came out like last month? And we're like, what? There was an animated thing?
No, dude, I was being sincere. I really wasn't sure if Chris just made a mistake or if he actually was talking about something that I didn't know about.
You need to trust yourself more, buddy. You know this shit better than we ever could. If we can nail you on something, man, we should just kick you off the show. Actually, can we just kick you off the show? I like that idea now that I think about it. See, and no one can see you give me the finger because you're not on video anymore. Ha! But yeah, Fable was shown off, and I just kind of went, guys, like, that's really cool. That is really cool. But I need to know what you're doing with it, because this game has not been around since 360. I don't know if you're going to do the same thing that it used to be. Because, by the way, looking back at Fable, like, I'm going to be a hot take here. The Fable games aren't even that good if you look back at them. They're not even that good.
I really liked the first one.
They were great concepts. It was the freedom. Again, it was like playing a third-person GTA in a fantasy world. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
However, when you really think about it, the stories aren't very good. The gameplay is basically hack and slash. And realistically, the freedoms were just limited to you being a dick to people or you being nice to people.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I have a theory of what they'll do with this one.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention, too, it might, for all I know, it might actually be better because Peter Molyneux's not on the fucking thing anymore, so.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I have a feeling they're going after that Witcher 3 money. I think that they're going for it there.
If that's their goal, then if they can succeed at that, then hell, Xbox has got a nice exclusive on their hands. But if they're using the old Fable formula, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never played Fable, so I have very little to.
What was that, Chris?
That was Vishal, I think, speaking.
Well, no, but you both spoke.
No,
I heard what Vishal said. He said he hadn't played Fable. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was just going to say I hope that they don't make it the same as the original game. Like, if they just go with Fable 1 and they just make it updated graphics, that's probably not enough. They'll need to reinvent.
No, they definitely have to do
actual-
something like different with it that's really unique. Because
Yeah, absolutely.
it's like I said earlier with Psychonauts 2, because you missed that a little bit. You can't just bring a game back from the dead and just do the same thing. You have to do something interesting. And not to mention, do you not like with Psychonauts 2? It's going to be the same thing. Xbox, you better be sure about Fable, because if you fuck this one up, I don't know how people trust you anymore with comebacks. Because, like, Fable's the one thing you have left. Like, Fable's the one not bro game that you had in your arsenal. So this better be good.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is one of probably their only non-bro
Do you
game.
consider Halo a bro game?
Yeah. No offense. As much as I like first-person shooters too, like, Cyberpunk's a bro game when you really think about it. First-person shooters are bro games.
Oh, okay.
Especially Halo.
Actually,
when
most
it's
games
like
with guns are bro games, because, you know, did you give me, no, bro, did you get a kill? No, you didn't get as much kills as me, bro. Bro. Like, seriously, bro?
Yeah, Halo has definitely.
No, I just wanted to make sure because, like, first FPS is arguably my least favorite genre of gaming in general.
Well, apparently with how many games you play, I don't think you have a favorite right now, so...
Yeah, this is true.
Platform, racing, and action.
So, games you aren't playing. Cool.
Yes.
And Brick Breaker.
Oh yeah, Brick Breaker. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, puzzle. Chris, you understand why I'm not playing Brick Breaker?
Because you would break your TV.
Yes, and you would as well.
So it should be called Device Breaker.
Device Breaker, yeah.
yes, that you're very right about that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So this episode is going to be titled "Fuck Brick Breaker."
I like it. I'm on board.
I'm not titling it "Fuck Brick Breaker."
Ah,
But yeah, like now that we're going through the whole thing, like I said, I really, really wanted to be nice to this. Like, I'm not upset. I'm not like pissed. I'm more just like, fuck. Like I was really excited to see what the future is for both consoles, and now I look at this and be like, well, there's no reason for me to even think about switching.
no, I don't think anybody will switch. I think some people might sign up for Game Pass, and I think that'll be the biggest change they'll see.
I saw a stat that said, out of people in the UK that are preparing to buy a next-gen console this year, 84% of them said PlayStation 5.
Jeez.
Now, I don't know how many people they took
sense.
off, but that's not a good sign.
No.
And
Not
that
for
tells
Xbox,
you
yes.
that Xbox is probably the one thing they got left is the price.
Yeah.
And by the way, if the price difference is $50-$100, I still would go PlayStation. It could be
yeah.
$200. I'd probably still go PlayStation, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It's just like the reason that I moved from 360 to PS4, I never intended to move from 360 to PS4. My full intention was to stay Microsoft. And then I realized real quick during their reveal and during other things they did that they were not marketing to a variety of gamers. They were marketing to one. They were marketing to the frat boy guys who go on, play Call of Duty, play Halo, play Gears of War, play Grand Theft Auto, and that's in like sports. That's all they wanted. They wanted the first-person shooters, and they wanted the shooty bang bang, and they wanted the sports. And I went, okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the shooty bang bangs. I'm still cool with that. But what else you got? And that was it. And then Sony came around and said, by the way, we're gonna have the new Persona game on here. By the way, we're gonna have Kingdom Hearts on here. And I went, fuck. And then Microsoft also did what they did with the Xbox One at their first reveal, which was making it a glorified TV box that wouldn't let you use used games. So that made it real easy to make the decision after that point. Now, what's happening is PS4 is exactly what it ended up being. It is a game for everybody. It's a console that everybody can get to because everything is there. You want your shooty bang bangs? You got your shooty bang bangs. You want your vroom vrooms? You got your vroom vrooms. You want your holy shit, how beautiful is that thing? You got those. And if you want the brick breakers, you somehow have brick breakers.
So what he is saying is RPGs, racers, first-person shooters, and puzzle games.
And then they have Yakuza, which, by the way, I know Xbox has Yakuza, but fuck you. It's PlayStation is Yakuza. Don't kid yourself. Yeah,
Does Xbox have all the Yakuzas?
as far as I know, they don't. As far as I know, they're only starting with the new one, which wouldn't be the worst because it's not necessary. I don't fucking know.
I know that Zero Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 or whatever they're called, those are on Xbox Game
Oh, okay,
Pass.
so they're slowly catching up.
Yeah, so I think they've just got the same ones that are available on PC, like the Steam release ones.
But either way, let's just say it outright. Sony's actually trying to be for everybody. Xbox is not. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think Xbox is trying to get everybody's attention. I think they know their audience and they're catering to that audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what they're definitely doing.
Now,
and I
don't
do think that I was just going to say, I think they'll have a better launch than they did with the Xbox One. People will go into it more.
Well, yeah, because people aren't
positively,
nearly
like,
as salty as they were, but
yeah, it's like, oh wow, they're doing Game Pass now, and oh cool, look how powerful it is, and they're giving us so much freedom, and blah blah. It's just like you're more happy because this isn't the Xbox One launch. That's probably what it is.
But yeah, like, and look, we still have a lot of time. Like, there's still a few months. Like, we will have most of the fall to see what's going on. Although, from the rumors going around, we might get a new State of Play early in August, and then, I mean, you got to say at this point, September has got to be the cutoff before we know when everything's coming. Like, I'll be shocked if none of the two consoles announce a release date and a price by the end of the next month. I'll be shocked because it's getting real close.
Yeah, my assumption is end of next month. By end of next month.
If it's September, I'm worried. Like,
I personally think September is gonna be when we see the prices.
I think that might be too late because I think that's when people start wondering. Okay, sorry, it may not be too late if you're talking pre-order, but here's the thing: if it's that late, that tells me you don't want the price to be out there that long. Because if you're waiting that long to tell us, that tells me that you're charging us a lot for it. That's the worry that a lot of people have been having.
There is a good chance that it could be that it's so late that the price is that good.
No. If the price was that good, you'd be talking about it right now because you would get so much hype. At this point,
no. But right now, I think both companies have a set price range of what they want their console to be. They're just waiting for the other person to reveal what.
But what I'm saying is if your normal price is a good price, then why are you waiting? That's what I'm saying. If what you're saying is that they already liked their price.
It's all business and marketing. They're going to.
Okay.
They're trying to take on the competition.
I'm fucking tired of the business thing. Because I'm just talking
but
hypotheticals
that's the
here.
Truth. That's what it is.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care about business right now. I'm talking the hypotheticals. If you are saying, because that's what you said, if they think the price is good, then why hide it? Because you open pre-orders up, you get ahead. You get ahead on the pre-orders.
Because they are willing to take a hit.
Well, then that price better be fucking good. That's all I'm saying is that price better be fucking good.
It's all about competition, man.
Yeah.
I know this is something you may not like to hear, but that's really what their model and plan is.
Well, at this point, we had prices and release dates for the last every generation. I'm sorry I'm about to go on a rant here. I'm fucking tired of hearing it. It's not a competition anymore. They've been competing for the last 3 months with these videos. Stop pussyfooting and show me a fucking price. Because I want to know where I'm going. And a lot of people want to know where they're going.
To be entirely honest,
at E3,
I hope Xbox releases their price first because it'll mean that Sony will have a more competitive price.
I don't even care if they're not.
I
don't even care if they're not at this point. I don't care if they tell me it's $500. Just fucking tell me. We've been waiting long enough. And by the way, and this is the part where I get a little bit mad about Sony. Sony needs to fucking do a better job with their PR because they're being way too vague with everything. Xbox has shown us quite a lot. They're pretty liberal with what's going on apart from the price and the release. Sony still hasn't shown us what the fucking thing looks like in terms of like how you play. They haven't shown us the menu at all. They haven't shown us anything. So it's getting to a point where it's like, guys, E3 would have happened over a full month ago. And you would have shown us the console, the price, the release, what it's going to play like, how all the systems are. And it's almost August. We're 3 days from August. And we don't know how the PS5 looks like on the menus. We don't know the transition speeds. We haven't seen what all the buttons on the fucking controller do, and obviously the price, release date, and all that other shit. So I'm sorry, I'm not taking competition as an excuse anymore, because if your console's coming out in November, you don't have that much time anymore. Because, by the way, a movie would not have waited 3 months before release to tell me when their movie's coming out. Avengers would not have waited 3 months.
New theory, Sony and Microsoft caused coronavirus so they could delay the price.
Like, fuck, I really don't want to get pissy about it, but I'm so tired of people coming back at me with this marketing bullshit, because I was fine with the marketing bullshit, but then the reveal events happened and they didn't give us anything. The whole point of the reveal events was like E3, where they've always told us what's going on, and they didn't tell us shit. I'm surprised, honestly, that we even got the console reveal in with Sony's event. I'm really surprised. I thought we weren't even getting that. So I'm just like, dude, I don't care anymore about business, because this right now is pissing people off. That's bad for business. I don't care what business people think means, oh, if we piss our customers off enough and finally give it to them, they'll get hyped. People were going to get hyped no matter the fuck it was. It could have been March. We would have been hyped as fuck for this console. It could have been fucking last year. We would have been hyped. And it will be, if they say, oh, by the way, 2 weeks from now, like it's early November, and they say, here's the console, here's the date, here's the price, here's all this. We'd still be hyped, but we'd also be like, really? You had to wait that fucking long? That's all I want. I don't think the hype matters, but it's gonna come. But the hype is going to come at the expense of people also going, why did they take so fucking long?
It is. But the fact is they know it is, and that's why they're doing it this way, to get people more hyped, to get people talking about it more, to get people more enraged.
And I'm going to ask the same question I asked last time.
Emotional question.
What does the hype matter when they're only producing a set amount of consoles? And I know that for a fact, no matter when they reveal it, it's going to sell out. So the hype train doesn't matter.
That Apple does is that when they release the next gen of iPhones, they release a quote unquote set amount, when in reality they have a shit ton in their warehouse.
Okay,
but they
what does that do then for hype? What does the hype matter for if you're holding stock back? Nintendo, for fuck's sakes, for the last 3 years, still has hype because Switches are always sold out. You don't need to make people wait.
And that's what it is.
But that has nothing to do with the hype of not revealing the release date, Vish. That has nothing to do with it.
It does, because
no, it doesn't.
Creating the hype.
Vishal, did they hold back? No, Vish, did they hold back the Switch release date? Did they hold it back?
They may not have held that back.
The answer is no. I'm spoiling it for you. No. The answer is no. They didn't.
Okay.
So I'm sorry that I'm mad, and I'm not being mad at you. I'm just tired of hearing it, because it is fucking July. E3 has passed, and I'm being a little entitled. I understand this. But as a consumer, I don't want to wait forever for a console that is out in 2 months or 3 months.
I am on your side on this. Believe it or not, I am on your side, and
then
I agree
stop
with
defending them.
It's really, I'm not defending them. What I am doing.
Then do me a favor. Preface by saying you don't support it, because you don't do that.
Okay.
You defend them. That's what it sounds like you're doing.
Adam, I will tell you one thing. I don't offend. I don't.
I don't defend.
What they're doing. I think it's fucking annoying. I think it's fucking ridiculous. But the fact is that what they're doing is working, and what they are. There's a thing.
No,
these
I don't accept. I fundamentally reject this.
They don't give a flying fuck about the consumer.
We know that.
They don't give a fuck about the fans in the end. They just care about what will make money, what will make the most money in the end.
And you know what will make money?
Me.
You know what will make money? showing us the release date, giving us the price, and saying pre-orders open tomorrow. That works. That makes the money.
I get that. But all I'm saying, Adam, is that what I do not support them. All I'm saying is their logic behind this. And I fucking hate it. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying it's right. I am not saying I'm okay with it. I'm not. What I'm saying is the reason why they're doing it this way. It's the whole fucking Apple model. Whenever they release a new
I don't care about
iPhone,
Apple. Fuck Apple.
No, but what it is, they say, oh, we only have this many models per
Yes,
store.
we went through this like 5 minutes ago. Thank you.
Fucking shit. They have way more available. They have significantly more available. So they're going to say, "Oh, we're not gonna release a price yet because we're still working on that. We don't have that many consoles yet. We're still making them."
They've straight up told us how many consoles they have in production. They've told us. They've literally told us. They even told us they extended it because of the hype.
Whatever they say, I don't believe that shit at all.
Well, that's fine. But then explain again. Like I said, I fundamentally reject the idea. If you want to say that they're holding back consoles so that we constantly have a sellout, I don't fucking care. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'll get one eventually. I can wait. But the idea is that if you're already holding back consoles, let's say hypothetically they are, there's no reason to hold back the price because if you already have that marketing strategy, and by the way, Sony, this is talking to you personally, you don't need to do this. You don't need to hold it back because believe me, everybody wants this fucking console. Nobody is looking at Microsoft right now because you are killing it right now. You just destroyed this month with games. Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima just broke records. Both of them broke records. You are winning. Stop fucking with people. You don't need to do this. This is not marketing anymore. This is you legitimately fucking kneecapping your customers. Stop. I don't care if you think this is going to help. The idea is that it's not going to change shit. Because the only thing that's going to change shit at this point is if Microsoft does better than you. And after this showcase, like I said, they didn't. Unless you're already an Xbox gamer, they didn't pull anybody. In fact, they might have lost people with this showcase. Because by the way, their YouTube rating, like the GameSpot one that I had, 3.4 upvotes to 1.6 downvotes. That's not good for a showcase. That's not good at all. Sony's was real good. So, you are winning. You don't need to fucking treat your customers like this. It's just a price, Sony, or even just give us a day. You don't even have to give us a price. Just say, hey, it's coming in November 16th. I don't fucking know, whatever day. And you can say, look, we'll have a price coming to you at this next event. We'll fully show you everything at this event. But the fact they keep hiding it makes it seem like they're hiding something because they know that they didn't do something right. That's what my worry is. And that's why I'm pissed. Because it sounds like to me it's one of two things. They're either just being dicks or they're lying to me. And I'm tired of it.
Being dicks and lying to you.
I want to know. And if you're not going to know, then I have no reason to touch you. And by the way, I already said it. I'm probably not getting one at launch anyway. And that's not even because of the price. It's because I'm tired of waiting. It's because I don't trust this console right now. I know I'm going to get it, but I don't trust it at launch because I don't think you guys are giving us everything.
I have a different theory.
Yeah. Go on.
I think that Sony, and this has been known for a while, but I don't know if you guys remember, Sony's strategy at every E3 since the 90s, even since the PlayStation 1, was right after one console set its price, Sony came out, said the price, and it was always $100 less.
Isn't that not true, though? Because PS3 didn't do that?
That's what I'm expecting.
Well, maybe not PS3, but PS1...
PS3 kind of got away with it because PS3 included the Blu-ray.
Okay, we're not
player.
tangenting for Blu-ray. Fuck Blu-ray. Who cares?
Yeah. But PS1, Sega Saturn went out and said their console, I think it was $299. They did their entire showcase, and then right after Sony walked out, they didn't say anything about their console. They just walked out and went $199, and then walked off the stage. That was how the PS1 was revealed way back in the 90s. And if you remember Xbox One, they revealed their system and their flaws. Sony came out, pointed out the other console's flaws, kind of cheeky, and then announced their console and cheaper price and all that other stuff.
And that's all fine and dandy. But again, I just turn around and go to Microsoft too and be like, guys, this fucking pissing contest is it's done. Like, just
Yeah.
get it over with. It's done. No one
think
cares. I think,
Microsoft-
like, this is my opinion. I think they're going to start losing customers pretty soon because I think people are tired of watching this.
Sony or Microsoft?
Both. I think people are like, you know what? I'll just wait 2 more years. I think a lot of people are actually getting to the point now that the people who are going to buy this stuff anyway, they're not moving. But like the people on the fence, I think a lot of people are slowly starting to just move to fuck it. I'll wait at least another year because this is pointless.
Yeah. So I think that Microsoft they decided with this one because they had such the shitty launch of the Xbox One. They're like, we're not going to fuck this up. We're going to make the console very, nice, and it's great with different features and everything. No holding back, and we're not going to reveal the price until after Sony, so we don't get fucked. And I think that Sony is using its typical marketing strategy, and they're like, why hasn't Microsoft announced their price yet? They're supposed to do it in June. That's why our showcase came in July. We're always going to be right after. And I think that it's now a game of chicken. I think they're stuck in this game of chicken until someone finally goes first.
So I'll play a game of chicken with them. Sony, because I'm going to you. But there's no getting around that. You have until August. If you do not reveal the price and the release date by the end of August, I refuse to buy this thing until the summer next year. That's what I'm going to say. Minimum summer next year.
That's probably a good idea, dude. In all honesty, that's probably.
And I implore that a lot of gamers do this too, because I think gamers need to start realizing that they need to stop being coddled like sheep.
See,
because spoiler alert, everybody, you can go 6 months without a console. You already have one. You'll be fine. Most of the games will still be on it. You'll be fine. You don't need the hype machine
or PC.
I'm just fucking tired. Like I'm tired of being hyped for no hype. And like that was the thing, the Xbox thing, and just to go back to it. I was honestly excited because now that I have Game Pass, I wanted to see what I was going to do. And by the time I watched it, I went, okay, who the fuck cares? Like, it's just a bunch of shit we all know. It's a bunch of games we already knew about. It's a bunch of games that we already know exist and they don't look that impressive. And it's a bunch of indie games that most people don't really know anything about to begin with. Like, they could have done this without it being a big deal. Like, they made it seem like this is a big deal. Like, Phil Spencer, if I'm not mistaken, said, oh, I'm real excited after Sony's event. He was like, I'm real excited for what we got next. That's what you were excited for? Really? A Halo game that looked like every Halo game and a Fable cinematic trailer. Because let's be honest, that's all this showcase really was.
I mean, if he tweeted out, fuck, I'm sure that wouldn't have been good for stock price for Microsoft.
I know,
Right
but
after the
again,
Sony event.
but that doesn't mean I can't make jokes back at his expense too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Todd Howard, you thought Fallout 76 was just gonna work.
Oh, that hurts.
I'm not kidding.
I love how Microsoft for Fable took a note from Bethesda with revealing the next Elder Scrolls. Just show a very short cinematic and then be like, it's coming one day, eventually, maybe.
Like, I don't know. And again, like I said it before in a video that I've done on my YouTube channel, where I'm just like, I'm so fucking tired of the console war, and this is a big part of it. I'm just tired of watching people argue over what's better, and I'm tired of companies fucking just staring at each other down, just being like, you go. It's like, dude, I just want to play my fucking games. I don't care.
It's a game of chicken.
And it's a boring game of chicken. Especially now with COVID, because now I'm a lot more aware how boring the game of chicken is.
So, yeah. No, it's until one company reveals a price, we're not going to get the prices. Somebody has to.
So like I said, they have
pull the trigger.
They have, well, I mean, it's more than 30 days, but they have about 30 days.
I like this now.
Because by the way, I said
it.
Horizon 2 initially. Horizon 2 may come out in March. So consider that for a second. I may not play Horizon 2. Actually, it might even be for PS4. Shit, no, I'm not going to play that on PS4. Fuck that.
Well, do you want to play the base version of Horizon 2, or do you want to play like a full version?
I literally just answered my own question, but yes, I would rather play the better version.
Okay.
But yeah,
I don't think you're going to...
I don't want to miss Horizon 2 at launch. But if I have to miss Horizon 2 at launch for my principles...
What I mean is that Horizon 2, you would prefer to play the full edition. That usually doesn't come out until like a year after the initial game release.
No, I want to play that game at launch. I don't care about DLC. I don't give a fuck.
No, that's what I was asking. If you want to play the full
I still
edition,
haven't played the
base
DLC to
edition.
the original. I don't care.
Okay. So
I personally don't care.
The base edition.
Yeah, I want to play the game at launch, and if it's
Okay.
if it's in March, like I guessed, I want to play it. But if I gotta wait till summer,
Okay.
I'll fucking do it. I don't care. And hell, if it's September and they still haven't done anything, if it's September, like let's say it's September, and they still haven't. For every week after September, yeah, I'm gonna add to it. If it's September, I'm already not getting the console till summer. For every week they don't do it after September starts, that's another month. I refuse.
I'm totally making a
So-
countdown.
So September 1st, they're gonna release the price.
So let's say they don't do it till October, which would be stupid. I know it's not gonna be that long, but let's just say it. I wouldn't play it till what? I wouldn't buy it till what? Like October the next year?
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay.
I don't care. Fuck, I got a PC now. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, you're usually off social media, and so you can avoid spoilers easily.
I don't even care for spoilers. Fuck. I have Google. That spoils me. I spoiled myself on Trails of Cold Steel 4 a little bit by accident one day.
Was it a big spoiler or was it like a meh?
Oh, it was a big spoiler.
Ouch.
Now, here, just because we're rambling, but I feel like I fucking called it. So when I saw the spoiler, I'm like, vindicated.
Oh, okay. So it was kind of like you saw it coming.
It's like I knew it was gonna happen, but either way. But yeah, so long story short, fuck Xbox, I don't care. And then long story short, 30 more days, maybe fuck Sony. I don't know. And I apologize for getting a little bit heated there, Vish, but like I needed a vent because I'm fucking tired of it.
Dude, I get it, and I hate this too. Don't get me wrong.
I'm
I
just
hate it
actually, you know what?
too,
I'll wait till after the show. We're good.
but I'm okay.
But yeah, anybody got last thoughts before because we're already over 2 hours. I said at the top of it before we started the show, guys. I thought there was no way this could be an hour or 30 minutes, and here we are at over 2 hours. I should fucking just never say anything. I should say, you know what? I think the show's going to go 3 hours, and maybe we'll actually finish fast.
Well, it's a long weekend, so let's all get some quality time in, and I will see you boys on Sunday for beverages and wings.
And maybe I don't want to fucking see you.
Okay.
I'll be there.
All right. Anything else from you, Chris?
No?
Other than fuck whatever your internet provider is right now?
Yes. No. I'm very upset because I.
You
can
know
do
what? I
nothing.
will say I got 2 words today. Blame Canada.
So this has been the VCR Podcast. Fuck Vish. So yeah, if you are listening to us on audio platforms, please like us, give us a rating. I got to admit, this podcast wasn't that great, so I mean, I don't know, maybe 2 stars, maybe 3. I don't know. I'd say 5. You should give us 5
3.
anyway.
Please 3.
You should give us
Or
5
just
anyway.
because we
Actually, you know
have
what?
to
Give
put
us a
up with
5 for pity. Just pity us, please. Give us a pity 5. I'll take a pity 5-star. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, like the video or downvote. You know what? Downvote it. I think this deserves a downvote. I'm okay with that. We might get more attention for having downvotes, actually, now that I think about it. Who knows? Fuck it. But subscribe to the channel for more stuff. I know I am tempted to start streaming soon. Like, because now that Fall Guys is a thing next week, I might even start thinking about maybe streaming again. I have my own personal stuff I'm still dealing with, and that's kind of kept me from thinking about it, but that is still a thing that I'll try to do down the road. Same with solo content. I'm really wanting to do videos, and then every time I do, I just don't. so that's a problem. But yeah, otherwise, if you want to follow us, the podcast itself, our audio version, if you were listening to or watching the video version, vcrpod.podbean.com is our official new home. If you're following us on Instagram, it's vcr.podcast. Twitter, it's vcrpod. If you're just following us individually on Twitter, it's Views Vishals. That is VIEWSVISS. Oh, I fucked it up for once. VIEWSVISHALS. God damn, I was amazed I haven't fucked it up before. Jin and Chris, because he upgraded. Yeah, he upgraded to 2 more letters. And then, of course, myself, CS Radical. On Instagram, it is also Views Vishal. It is Jin.N.Chris, because he's a pleb and can't change both.
Yeah.
And because, as per usual, some asshole took my name, it's CS_Radical on Instagram. So that is going to do us. Vish just kind of walked off screen. Who cares? He's not necessary. You don't even have to see that shit. There's been no video content aside from mine for the last, hour. So...
Yeah.
because Chris's internet sucks and it broke the feed, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's still them. Like, I literally have no edge.
Yeah, so much that you sound like a robot. It's great. But this has been the VCR podcast. Oh crap, he's coming back. I need to shut the podcast off now. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.